Shalom, shalom, Israel. It's your boy Jose Vega back with another one. And tonight we're probably going to be discussing the review of Immaculate versus King Seth debate because the brother Emac had a debate on an unbiased platform, and basically they claimed that he lost by a landslide by the judges. But I'm just going to be honest because, again, I'm a fair judge because I really don't care too much about the Spaniard or the West African influence. So I really don't even have a biased view on it. But after reviewing and seeing the debate myself, it was clearly an easy win for the brother Immaculate. You know what I'm saying? You can clearly see the bias in the judging, of course, because 99% of that channel is nothing but African Americans. So of course they felt a certain way when Emac was bringing out his information about the Spaniard influence in the world more than what you would call West African influence. And the brother Emac came back with a cleaner discussion. He was in tuned and never got off subject. The brother Seth, King Seth, um, I think he did the same mistake like the brother Ayash did when he tried to debate me. Also, they don't know the structure of a debate. Like what is an opening round, then you have your two rounds, then you have a closing and questioning and answer. The brother was kind of confused because the the King Seth treated his opening and his closing as a as an opportunity to build off of his first two rounds. Basically, meaning he never did an opening or an actual closing to the debate, which should have been taken points of. Second point that about this debate is King Seth's second round, which I want brothers and sisters to pay attention to, because remember, the title of the debate was who had more influence, so-called Spain or West Africans. And what you brothers and sisters are going to realize in the second round, King Seth brings out his whole round was basically about the Moors, and which confused me because Moors are not West Africans; they're actually North Africans. You know what I'm saying? So when he actually brought that out, that whole round should have just been canceled out because it had nothing to actually do with the topic at hand. So I find it funny that no one, I think only one judge actually talked about it. But like I said, it was a very unbiased platform. But I'm waiting for the brother Emac to hop on so he can, I told the brother I'll give him an opportunity to address uh, King Seth's premise and to debunk a lot of the stuff that King Seth was bringing out in the debate, which a lot of it, didn't make sense anyways. Like I said, I think it should have been an easy win for Emac. And again, not being biased, because again, I can care less about Spaniards or or West Africans. You know what I'm saying about their influences. But the presentation, the arguments made, was clearly Emac, and these guys were actually kind of hurt, I believe, and but we all know what was the truth, right? So we're gonna wait for that brother. But if the brother doesn't show up because for any reason, um, I will be probably changing this to another title because there is another subject that I really want to discuss, um, and it's basically about all the hate that we see natives been showing each other, especially brother Daniel Yalpez and Northern Kingdom Prophets, which I was pretty shocked to hear what Northern Prophets was basically saying the other night, and it was pretty sad, bro. So we'll probably do a video on that if Emac doesn't show up, and we'll probably get into stuff like that. So stay tuned. I'll be right back. Now, so I was on TikTok just the other day, and I ran into this video right here. Right now, it's a pretty sick video. What you're about to see here is basically a little Caucasian boy, basically talking about what he wants to be when he grows up. And again, then people wonder why you have these school, shootings and all this craziness in the world. Matter of fact, we're gonna talk about some other stuff too, bro. This is crazy, bro. Something I found out today. It kind of blew my mind, right? But we're gonna talk about that real quick. But first, we're gonna bring out this video of the so-called Caucasian boy talking about what he wants to be when he grows up. And again, brothers and sisters, like I said, then you wonder why we have these school shootings and people walking into churches, shootings and crazy stuff like that. Look at the mind of the so-called European. Okay.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
A murderer because I like killing. My brain tells me if I like killing or not. I like killing because when I first watched my grown up killing show, myself started to like killing, and then my brain started to like telling me what to do with killing in it. So
Okay.
I like murders and I like killing in my life. I'm gonna
Okay.
kill everybody in the world except for my family because they just didn't do anything to me. I just like killing.
So just any type of person, it doesn't matter. What about me?
Yeah.
Even me?
No, not even my teachers either.
Okay, because I'm the first person that you told this. Am I? Yeah.
So I just like killing.
So what are you gonna be again when you grow up?
A murderer.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Want to be? What do you want to be when you grow up?
A murderer because I like killing. My brain tells me if I like killing or not. I like killing because when I first watched my grown up killing show, myself started to like killing, and then my brain started to like telling me what to do with killing in it. So
Okay.
I like murders and I like killing in my life. I'm gonna
Okay.
kill everybody in the world except for my family because they just didn't do anything to me. I just like killing.
So just any type of person, it doesn't matter. What about me?
Yeah.
Even me?
No, not even my teachers either.
Okay, because I'm the first person that you told this. Am I? Yeah.
So I just like killing.
So what are you gonna be again when you grow up?
A murderer.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Want to be? What do you want to be when you grow up?
A murderer because I like killing. My brain tells me if I like killing or not. I like killing because when I first watched my grown up killing show, myself started to like killing, and then my brain started to like tell me what to do with killing in it. So
Okay.
I like murders and I like killing in my life. I'm gonna kill everybody in the world except for my family because they just didn't do anything to me. I just like killing.
So just any type of person.
So, as you brothers and sisters see, this kid clearly has a sickness in his head, right? That he's basically on camera talking about what he wants to do when he grows up, being a killer and everything like that. And you know what's funny? I was just having this discussion with my wife earlier today, and this is something I never knew. I never knew this. Do you guys know that there's people out there who don't do inner monologues in their brain, meaning go through things in their mind before they speak things, or just they don't basically have a conscience, basically, as you would say, don't talk to themselves or analyze things in their in their mind. That's crazy, right? Yeah, Emac, I dropped the link, so just hit try to add yourself onto the link, and we can start the video. But before we first start the video, let me talk about this real quick about what I was reading, man. This is crazy. So I can understand why that little boy says what he says after doing research on it. And let's read it. All right, let's read the video. Okay, this is from CBS News, right? It says what it's like living without an inner monologue. Right? Hold on. I'm trying to make it bigger so we can all read along. Let me see. All right, that's big enough. And it says, what it's like living without an inner monologue, right? A look at the inner experience and the science behind it by Alex, not even going to try to pronounce her last name, right? Made in March 2020, right? It says Olivia Rivera, 22, says she doesn't have an inner monologue. She first figured it out this year when her co-workers were talking about a viral blog post by Matthew Howard, CBC, right? I guess the column goes with two comments, right? It says, this story originally published on March 6th, 2020. Hi there. You're hearing this sentence in your head right now. Is your inner critic voicing its thoughts on the sentence structures? Is it saying it is an odds start to a new story? To new story? The concept of an inner monologue, the term now commonly used to describe a voice in your head, recently sparked a flurry of discussion on social media. A tweet by Kyle Funny Emoji and subsequent blog post by Ryan Langdon brought the topic into the forefront, informing the internet that not everyone has an inner monologue. Some people freaked out, not believing that some don't think in a verbal, linear way. Others who live without that inner voice realize that they think differently than many of their friends and family members. Another post by Kyle says, fun fact, some people have an internal narrative and some don't. As in, some people's thoughts are like sentences they hear, and some people just have abstract, nonverbal thoughts and and have to constantly verbalize them, and most people aren't aware of the other types of person. Right? So let's go skip down back into the article, right? It says, today I learned that not everyone has an inner monologue, right? My day was completely ruined yesterday when I stumbled upon a fun fact that absolutely obliterated my mind. I saw this tweet. That's just another tweet. Let's get back to the article. It says, Olivia Rivera, 22, said she figured out she doesn't have an internal monologue when her co-workers at a Regina salon started talking about the viral debate. She said that until then, she didn't know that some people actually have a voice in their head that sounds like their own voice. When I hear her quote, when I hear that other people have like a constant kind of dialogue and stream in their head, and that when they're doing a task, they'll be just be thinking about things the entire time they're doing a task. It actually kind of feels a little overwhelming, she said. How do you deal with that? And what does that feel like? Inner monologues in pop culture. You may have seen inner monologue portrayed in TV shows where a detective debriefs a situation via narration. Or maybe you've seen the movie What a Woman Wants, where Mel Gibson's character can read the minds of his female co-workers and romantic interests. Rivera said she was first confronted with the concept of inner voice as a child, watching the show Lizzie McGuire, in which a small animated version of the main character shared her thoughts and commentary on what was happening. Rivera said she never understood the explanatory uh, device was supposed to mimic the voice inside the character's head. Quote, I always thought it was something that people just manifested and made up for movies and books and characters just to kind of like explain your inner thought process, Rivera said. I didn't realize that it was actually that constant for people, that people did actually have a little kind of voice in their head telling them different things of what to do and what to think. I don't have to do that, so that's always been weird to me. So does Rivera's mind look like? So what does Rivera's mind look like? She described her inner thoughts as jot notes. All right, let's hear a little video of her saying it's not this stuff, right?
Sometimes I say things that other people probably just think to themselves. And just keep in their head, and that's fine. Keep it to yourselves. It's probably better. Hi, I'm Olivia Rivera, and I don't have an internal monologue. This is something that's kind of been going around the internet lately. If you've seen it, some people have an internal dialogue or an internal monologue where it's more of a constant stream of thoughts. I, on the reverse hand, feel that my thought process is more like sporadic or random jot notes. It's not my voice talking all the time, and it's more like I'm just seeing lines of thought, and maybe they have voices associated to them or tones associated to them, but not necessarily my voice. If you're typing something on a computer and the lines are just kind of like appearing on the screen, I think that's kind of how my brain works, and that's why jot notes feel like the best way to describe it. When I hear that other people have like a constant kind of dialogue and stream in their head, and that when they're doing a task, they'll just be thinking about things the entire time they're doing a task, it actually kind of feels a little overwhelming. Like how do you deal with that, and how does that feel? I always thought it was something that people just manifested and made up for movies and books and characters, just to kind of like explain your inner thought process and like have like a way to explain your inner thought process. But I didn't realize that it was actually that constant for people, that people did actually have a little kind of voice in their head telling them different things and what to do and what to think and stuff like that. I don't have that. Sometimes I will just speak it out loud. I find that, especially when I'm alone, I'll just kind of like, encourage myself out loud versus kind of saying it in my head. Music lyrics come into my head a lot, and I'll hear the music as the singer sings it. So thinking my thoughts through before I say something, that is something that I never ever was good at when I was growing up. I constantly get in trouble, especially my mom. She'd try to kind of instill in me, no, you have to think before you speak, because I would often put my foot into my mouth and say something that I probably shouldn't have said. As I grew up, it didn't get better. I didn't think before I spoke, it's almost like I just got better at reading the situation subconsciously and knowing what to say and what to respond with. Because I'm not running things through my mind first, it does kind of lose that filter first, and that kind of contributes to the whole, like, people often know what I'm thinking because I will say exactly what I'm thinking. I think it is something that we should know more about, because I think that helps knowing how other people think. You can kind of react better and maybe expect less or more for a situation, because you can understand how they might be actually thinking in their heads better.
Because the table's all wet. Okay?
All right. See, so like I said, that's just something I never knew, bro. You know what I always thought. Like I really didn't know people didn't like really talk to themselves in the head like that. That's crazy. You know,
Oh,
when I always thought that when people said to think before you talk, I always thought that people is always said the first thing that just popped up in their head and then just say it without calculating or thinking it through before they speak these things. But to actually hear that, no, that's not even the case. Like these people are just saying things as they go. Like they don't have an inner monologue in their head. That's just crazy. Did you know that, Emac?
no, I didn't get to hear what you said.
Now they were talking about these things called inner monologue. Basically, people who talk to themselves in their head. So she's basically saying that there's people out there, like almost 50% of people. When you read the article, almost 50% don't have an inner monologue, meaning they don't speak to themselves or have an inner voice or something like that.
Oh, is that bad?
I don't know. This is why she was explaining that, like how you have people saying that to think before you speak. Like people just like they're not really thinking anything through in their mind before they just basically just speaking as they go.
Oh, I
You know
see
what?
how you putting it together.
That's crazy, yo! I didn't know that, bro. That's crazy. I didn't know that, bro. Like basically, they don't have any soul, or to me, it's like they're almost
well,
soulless. Think about it, like they don't.
well, you know,
No.
they say that African American, their frontal lobe is not fully developed. So, like, I guess on the part of the brain where it deals with like with certain things, they don't have like fully. It's not fully like bright, like like other races and shit. So that's probably got something to do with it as well. I'm like, it's interesting that you said that because I was like, damn, yeah, man, what you doing, bro?
Now, so I was just about to set up the debate.
Oh man, you need to go to that stand where he says the La Bamba is West African.
Oh yeah, we're gonna play it. We're probably gonna just skip the beginning of all the introductions and probably just get right into where he starts his opening. But explain to people what we're gonna be viewing tonight.
Say that again.
I said, explain to the people what we're gonna be viewing tonight.
Oh yeah, yo, this is the Immaculate versus King Seth debate review. Basically, my opponent won the debate. Well, the judges were all Pan Africans first off, but then so what happened was he made a lot of assumptions about Spain and Latin America and Hispanics today, basically saying how everything that we have is all African roots, is all African. We never created anything.
All right. All right. Let me we show how the LBK these people are bad. You remember bro, I'll tell you, I'm such a clown
Bro,
sometimes. I be
you
clowning
bodying.
sometimes.
Who's that?
All right.
There you go.
All right. Now this is the discussion. Remember we were having with Tommy about his imaginary world,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm just bringing this out just real quick, just to show people that I'm gonna have this discussion probably like later on this week about this topic. I just want to show everybody how I play chess with people, but it was to the point where the sister Avery, as you see right there, all the way in the bottom, she starts saying, "Damn, let Jose speak. He on fire." I'll be having their women in their group chats like backing me up, like always telling me, "Yo, you keep my foot on these guys' necks, man." Yeah, let me play it real quick. Where is it?
I want to go all around the planet. America, you see everything else.
Our culture is the melting pot. That is our culture.
Right. It's all these different people that they bring over here overseas. And they set up
America has become the land of the foreigners.
Yeah. We're our culture is world. We have a worldwide culture. It's not specific to like one group of people or one thing.
This is what we don't talk on human sexuality, especially children's sexuality.
Jose on
That's
fire.
my understanding. Calm down, I recognize. Claims you that you need to take a book.
He said, "Calm down, Ivory." No, he's not.
That's my understanding. Calm down, I recognize. He's on take a book on human sexuality, especially children's sexuality.
Jose on
That's my
fire.
understanding.
And what's funny is that at this point it was like already like an hour and something into the discussion, and you can hear when I bring this up in a couple of days that how Avery was just on the back chat, just like cheering me on, like, "Yup, Jose's making a point. That's a good point. That's a good point." Jose's on fire.
You see how he got mad at you, Jose? He was like, "No, he's not."
You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, bro. I was like, you were just making bad points. I'm gonna point that out, another day. But let's get into the debate and let Emac bring out points to debunk. All right. Man, bro, you see how Daniels? Bro, Daniels, I'm telling you, bro, he's a clown, bro. Bro, you see how he's in a. You saw how I called him out on the back chats. I told him about that video. Remember about how that one video talked about how natives are acting like they're native police? And I called him out on that shit. And look at him in the back chats. Telling people who's native and who's not, and all this other bullcrap, bro.
For real? Damn. Like, does he forget, like, a lot of Hispanic people got native DNA in them? Like, doesn't matter if it's, like, if it's 10%, 20%, 60%.
No. Yep.
I wonder what he would tell Snoop Dogg. Will he tell Snoop Dogg, "You're not native"? You know what I'm saying? Like, that nigga's native. He got native blood, bro.
I never had a problem, saying these things. But Daniel always have, you know what I'm saying?
I wonder if native thinks if I'm a native or not. I wonder what he thinks.
I believe. Okay, here's a big right here, right? Seth.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right now we have kids and military.
Yeah. Go to the part where he talks about if you want to touch up the La Bamba part.
Do you have the minute mark for that?
No, it's right there. You were just right on it. Check it right where you were just at. That's in his first debate. He brought it up right in the beginning. Yeah, right after that, right there, right, and the Herodotus part too. Right after that, it should be right after that. Oh, that's not it. Right there. That's one of them right there. So,
wait, hold on. You want me to look for the La Bamba one?
You could do the La Bamba one first, but that Herodotus one, remember that stamp because we're gonna go right to that after. Because it's important that we talk about Herodotus because if you're saying that he said something specifically and he didn't really say it, that makes you a liar.
Well, I know you want to this one too.
Oh yeah, the Ishango. So right here, he says that the Ishango bone, which wasn't, you know, what I'm saying, it, he's saying that is a mathematical a bone. So if you look at the bone, the scratches right there on the side, which represents like tally marks, the first proto tally mark. So if there's a bone in the same place found in the Congo as well, it's called the Lembambo bone, Lembambo, and it actually predates this bone right here. And when the scholars looked at the bone, they said that the bone was had notches on it. So those marks or scratch marks that you see that look like tally marks are not really mathematical tally marks. They're notches on the bones that the Africans use as decorative to decorate bones. It didn't have anything to do with math, but a lot of a lot of people is attesting it to as mathematical. But if you look at the more earlier bones found in the same place, those bones were notches on it, and since they look like tally marks, you know, with little scratches or lines going down, they assume that it's tally marks, but it's really not.
And let me ask, where is he getting this source from, anyways? Like, is that you know, the I guess the website right there? That's what I'm guessing. That's where he's getting his information
Yeah,
from. Okay,
yeah,
so
yeah.
that's cool. Okay.
So the funny thing is they're saying that this is like it's measurements, you know what I'm saying? But in reality, it's that's not the facts. The facts is that it's speculation. It's up for speculation. So the people could just say, "Oh, it's math, this and that." But you look at the bones earlier. The bones earlier had notches for decorative. You know, they held the tools. There were tools. There weren't like for math, like tools for math. You know what I'm saying? So that's about it.
All right. Cool. So, like I said, I think we should just, like I said, we'll let the people view it for themselves, so they can see how even the brother presented his case. And I ain't gonna lie, there was even a part where he was reading and he really couldn't read his own his own source, and I kind of found it funny that, you know, he's quoting a source he really can't really read, um, and didn't get points taken away, you know, because you did kind of mumble, you know, I don't know, but like I
Right,
said,
he was rushing it.
let's yeah, and any time, Emac, at any time during the video, if you want to address something that he's actually saying, you know, because it looks like this is like the fifth or sixth thing that he's talking about in his first
All
round.
right,
You know, you can address it, all right?
all right.
All right, so let me play it from the beginning so everybody can hear the brother's presentation. Matter of fact, it was supposed to be his opening round, right? And he just got into it, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to be. This is his opening round, and he just put new information in his opening round.
Hmm.
No, matter of fact, no, that's not even his opening round. He didn't even have an opening round. My bad. His opening round was addressing me, you, and Frank.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay, I'll play that. I'll
Right,
play it
right.
from
He
the.
put new. I think he put new information in his closing. Yeah,
Okay. I play from his opening, and then he gets the first round, and then you. That's right. All right.
yeah.
So big shouts out to the go. Do this is for y'all three. You see what I'm saying? So today,
last but definitely not least, we got Neo motherfucking Love.
Neo motherfucking Love in this thing, you know, from Louisiana also. Derek, that's my homeboy, hometown heroes, you know. I do my little music thing and everything like that too. Y'all can find me on Sandpit Records on YouTube. Other than that, I'm here to judge and look for, like he said, looking for who bring the most information and got the sources to back up what they saying. Okay, so may the best man win. Let's get it.
Okay, you guys. We want to go right back into your rounds. King Seth, thank you first for your intro.
Yeah, that's not why I start my slides. This is not my 15-minute round, is it?
No, just intro of your introducing like what your premise is, what you're gonna be showing.
Okay, bet.
5 minutes.
My premise. Okay, my premise is to show the West African influence over the world, and especially directed in certain areas as Latin America. So what I'll be showing is all the influence and just a handful, because as I was doing this research, I found a couple things that I didn't know, that I didn't realize were influenced by us. So these things I will be revealing and I will be substantiating with sources. My sources are under the title in every last one of my slides for free, for y'all to be free to click on them and see what I'm talking about. It goes right to the site, or you can write it down or whatever. The slide will be up there as long as you need it to be, or you can rewind it to see. But I will be blowing people's minds today. You see what I'm saying? I will be setting this man straight. I will be adjusting this young man's thought process, because he seems to think that these people are superior by some type of way, and we was some primitive monkeys. But I'm gonna show him different. You understand? You're going down, Emac. I'm not gonna play with you. I'm gonna keep my foot on your neck. And matter of fact, this is not for the whole Hispanic community. This is just for Emac, Frank Lights, and Jose Vega. This is for y'all three. You see what I'm saying? So today, Hispanic community, this is just for Emac, Frank Lights, and Jose Vega. This is for y'all three. This is not for the whole Hispanic community. This is just for Emac, Frank Lights, and Jose Vega. This is for y'all three. You see what I'm saying? So today, I'm gonna take everything away from you, so you have nothing but to do but to bow down to West Africa. That's what I'm finna make you do. You know what I'm saying? Because right now we're not even finna raise up Kemet. You know?
Hey, real quick. Hey, Emac, why do you think King Seth is saying what he's saying right there? Yo, Emac,
Yo,
why do you think King Seth said what he said right there?
do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Oh, cause he hates us because we bring out the truth about the African shit.
Now, didn't I just do like a video not long ago when I had, Timotheus, basically admitting that his, Puerto Ricans taught all their African history?
Yeah, yeah.
So would you say that King Seth at this point is probably butthurt that I had African Americans admit that we taught them their African history?
Oh, definitely that hit his heart.
You see, people, this is why. I haven't talked to King Seth in years before he's just mentioned me in this debate. He just recently just got on that group chat after the debate. Before that, he wasn't a part of the group chat. I haven't really talked to King Seth in a minute. Why is he talking about me in the debate? That's crazy. That's crazy. You know why, people? Because he heard how I beat up a bunch of African Americans on the group chat that we're on and had them admitting that we taught them all their African culture. And I've been playing the video clips over and over in the back chats for them to hear, and they hate that shit.
Bro, he didn't even put no slides up or anything, or like anything for his opening. He was just like rumbling his mouth.
That's what I'm saying. Yo, everybody can clearly see that he made it personal from the get-go. Like everybody can see it. Like it's about us against them type shit, like type of vibe. Instead of like, yo, let's just present the information, get it cracking. Hope you guys get edified out there. Let's keep it clean. Let's keep it clean. But no, the first thing he does is like try to attack. You know what I'm saying? It's like and then starts name calling people. I'm like, this is crazy, bro. That's kind of
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Kemet good. We give them a high five. We finna show that we not they wasn't the only ones that had knowledge and power. So big shouts out to the Gold Coast Gorillas, man. Let's get it, man. Come on, man. Enough for the top.
Okay. You ready, Emac, for your intro? Emac.
Yeah, I'm confused. Was that like a introduction just for the name, or that's the first round?
No, that's just the intro to your premise. Like, just introducing what you're gonna do, and then he's gonna go into his first round. Just
Okay.
what
It's
are
not
you
the
showing us today?
okay.
Yeah, you're opening.
All right, so let me show my opening.
Okay, your screen is shared.
All right, right there, perfect. All right, let me know when you're ready to start the clock. You got 5 minutes, right?
Yeah, that's whenever you're ready. Whenever you go.
All right, as soon as you hear the bomb, I'm ready.
Okay.
All right. Now, he didn't even have an opening, proper opening, so that's already a body bag on the first round. West African Empire or Spanish Empire? Which was more influential in the world? EMAC? All right. The answer is yes. Us Spanish influenced the whole world and will be shown in my debate how the new world was shaped rather than the West African tribes. Okay? So in the debate, this is the topic right here. The West African Empire or the Spanish Empire, which was more influential in the world. So in my debate, I'm going to be showing for verbatim, back to back, how did the Spanish actually influence the whole world through these simple steps right here. Okay, so in my opening, right, this is my opening, and in my debate, I'm going to be showing a global influence in geography, how the Spanish Empire went from the start of time, from BC to AD, where you get your common era, and where you're going to see from the time where the Christ has died to the time to contemporary time till today. So in my debate, we're going to start bringing out some of these methodologies and some of these steps that I'm going to be showing and presenting to show how the Spanish influenced the whole world rather than the West Africans who did influence the whole world as they claim. So the title of the debate again is West African Empire or Spanish Empire, which was more influential in the world. And in my debate, I'm going to show an economic power that the Spanish influence showed the whole world on how to do certain things and how it became a more of an economical process during slavery. And then we're going to show on the history of Spain and how the Spain came to be. And on top of that, how did the Spain history also showed other Europeans to follow suit. And then I'm going to show in the culture as well as Spanish culture influenced the Latin America, the western part of Europe, and the whole world. We're also going to show technology as well during the Renaissance era, how the technology actually advanced and actually became the new world. We're going to show how the religion part of Catholicism and Spain and the Roman Empire, how it was merged to show the whole world how it was spread. And the spreading of the new age, we're also going to show how the new world order was actually implemented through the dollar bill of the Novius Order of the Celodrum. And we're going to show how the order was spread to the whole world and how it influenced. And I'm going to go ahead and end my opening right there and show the whole world how we're superior.
Oh, no.
Okay.
all right. Real quick. Right off rip, like that was a way better opening than the brother King Seth. Like you guys would just have to admit that. Like Emac just clearly had a great opening. He basically walked you guys down to what he's exactly going to be discussing with the people. He didn't have to make a personal jabs at King Seth or the black community at that point. Um, just off bat, bro. Like it was just a great opening, right? So now King Seth is about to go into his first round. So let's listen to his first round and see the information he shared with the community. Unless you want to say something real quick, email.
No, you go ahead. I'm gonna actually sign into my computer, but you go ahead.
Okay, King Seth, you can go ahead and share your screen, and I'll start your clock whenever you start talking.
Is he talking? I can't hear him.
Y'all can see my screen,
Right?
Yeah, we can see you and hear you now.
I bet. Now we're finna get to the title. Who is the most influential in the world? All right, let's go. Next slide. Now, it's important to understand what the definition of influence is. So, I like to start out my debates off with definitions. Influence, the capacity to have an effect on the character, development, or behavior of someone or something, or the effect itself. Now, I want all the judges and everybody listening to take heed to what this definition is saying. The capacity to have an effect on the character, development, or behavior of someone or something, or the effect itself. Next slide. All right, West African trade cities influence trade, sub-Saharan trade. Important trading cities arose across the trans-Saharan trade network. These cities acted as commercial centers where merchants would buy and sell their goods. They also became centers for religion and learning. Centers. Let's keep these words in order. Okay, I'm not gonna read all this, but I'm gonna read at the top. And let me see. Right here. From the 6th through the 16th century, 5 major factors motivated the changes of the Western Sudan: expansion of reliable food production and establishment of stable governments, and the creation and control of integrational trade routes, and shifted to who experts such power, war, and resulting migrations, and natural and man-made catastrophes. Do they manifested in different regional circumstances? These same 5 influences drove evolution of Asia, European, Mesoamerica, and Near Eastern societies. During the 500 through the 1590, they developed a series of Sudanic and Sahara regional civilizations that were able to produce surplus foods such as millet, sorghum, rice, and other crops in desert fringes. Let's go down right here. They organized villages and isolated settlements into larger units under unified clans with the cross to iron tools, working, and military resources, and innovated warfare and military preparedness. As intra and interregional trade evolved, they provided effective protection for the trade routes. So let's go down right here. They fashioned large-scale public buildings of mud, bricks, and such. I can't move this little thing right here, man. I don't want to move it. The empires of Ghana, and it says Mali and the Masi and the Hassian states and other political units grew indigenously from consistently successful community adaptations, physical and material circumstances. is, as in other parts of the world at the time, it survived droughts, flooding, military excursion, plagues, and other catastrophes. Now let's see what drove these motivations to these man, hold on, bro. Oh man, come on, bro. Don't do that. Okay, yeah. All right, let's go on the slide. Let's go. Let's see what kind of empires we talking about. The Mali Empire. The Mali Empire emerged in 1235. Mali built its wealth under control and trade and taxation of commerce that passed through the borders. Because of the plentiful reserves of gold within the territory, Mali became one of the world's largest gold exporters. Much of Mali's gold found its way through the Mediterranean coast in North Africa. From there, the gold made its way into Europe and the Middle East. Mali's largest import was salt, which they lacked in large enough quantities. They consumed the salt, preserved the salt for perishable foods and human corpses. Mali also imported glass, ceramics, and silver. Now let's look at this map. Now people say the Moors up here, right? This is Timbuktu right here.
Real quick, Emac, you see what he has posted up here, right?
Yeah.
Is this what we're reading here? Do you see anything about West Africa anywhere here?
Nah.
What was the topic of
Or
the debate?
West Africa region.
So in round one, right, when he brings up this Mali Empire, right, when he says the Mali Empire emerged in 1235, right, he says Mali built its wealth on controlled trade and taxation and commerce, right, that passed through its borders. Because of the plentiful reserves of gold within their territory, Mali became one of the world's largest gold exporters. Much more, Mali's gold found its way to the Mediterranean coast in North Africa.
Right,
But
right.
yeah, like, what does this have to do with West African influence?
So I'm gonna tell you the truth. So all right, so the people in this land, the indigenous people, were called the Mendes, and to get more, in fact, they called the Mandinka, the Mandinka people. That's what this tribe or this Mali Empire was built off of. Now, when you talk about North Africa coming into Mali in a trade route, this is signifies that the gold that was sitting in West Africa was not being used. It was just there. It was just in the earth. So with the North and the
No, but it
Muslims,
says no, but it says that it's in the gold was in North Africa. It doesn't say West Africa.
okay. So
That's what I'm
Mali,
saying. It says that Mali's gold found its way to the Mediterranean coast in North Africa. From there, the gold made its way into Europe and to the Middle East.
East. So yeah, look at that on top of that.
So I don't see anything about it coming from West Africa. Like,
Right. That's even good. That's good comprehension right there. I didn't even realize that. When the gold made its way into Europe and into the Middle East. Wow.
like that's what I'm saying. I was just like I was hearing them read this thing right here, and I'm waiting to hear about how this stuff has to do with West Africa. And 3 times I'm reading North Africa, North Africa, North Africa. I'm thinking like, okay, what does this have to do with West fucking Africa, bro? It says right, it means the gold made its way to Mali. It said Mali's largest imports was salt, which they lacked in large quantities. They consumed the salt in the deities and used to preserve.
They lacked large salt, so they couldn't even produce.
It says, look, Mali also imported glass, ceramics, and precious stones from North Africa. Like,
also imported
like, what the hell does this have to do with West Africa, bro?
Right, Mali. Yeah, it said right there. Yeah, right there. Mali also imported glass. Imported. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they got
North
it from North Africa. Yo,
like, I don't get it. Like, I don't like off bat. I don't get why he's bringing this up. The debate was about the influence of West Africans. I don't know, but all right, let's go keep going. I was just wanted to point that out, people.
You see where everything with a hub at, where everything is going. This is called influence through money. This is called influence through power. Because you got to come right here to go to school. Now let's see if I'm right. Let's see if I'm right. West African gold in antiquity. The trade of gold in West Africa goes back to when antiquity, with one of the earliest examples being a voyage from the Carthaginian explorer Hanno in the 5th century BCE. The celebrated mariner sailed out of the Mediterranean and turning south, stopped from the mouth of the Senegal River before sailing on, perhaps even reaching the far bay of the Guinea. The Hanno was followed by other countrymen, and commercial relations were established with the locals. Thus, West African gold found its way from the trading post islands of the current unidentified Atlantic Ocean northwards to the ancient Mediterranean coasts of the first time. The 5th century BCE, Greek historian Herodotus describes his histories that the gold was traded on the West African coast using a silent and cautious method of barter, perhaps understandable given the language barrier and the mutual fear between unfamiliar peoples. But see, what we have to understand is that gold and salt, you will have influence on the whole world. We already got the trade. We already got the trade hubs. You already see that we already have the weapons, the military resources. We didn't establish that. My sources are up under my titles. We already established that this was a hub. Now let's see what Herodotus said. The Carthaginians tell of a place in Libya outside the Pillars of Hercules, inhabited by a people of whom they bring their cargo. The Carthaginians unload their wares and arrange them on the beach. Then they reboard their boats and light a smoky fire when the neighbor inhabitants see the smoke. They come from the shores, and after setting out gold in exchange for good, they withdrew. The Carthaginians disembarked and examined what the natives have left there. And if the gold appears to be them to worthy of the price for their wages, after and arrange them on the beach.
Yeah. Yo, wow. He made, just from that time, he made a lot of assertions, dog. Lot.
And he was actually not reading like certain words right there at the end there too.
He didn't read it all. No,
That's what I was saying. He wasn't reading. Yeah, some of the words he was mispronouncing. I guess trying to read it too fast or something. I don't know.
So look at what it says. It says, actually, when you look at this, is the Herodotus, right? It says book 4, and it says page 197. The page is actually 196. So wherever his source took this from, actually miscounted the page. It's the page before. So this page right here is 196, and it says the Carthaginians tell of a place in Libya outside of the Pillars of Hercules. So the Pillars of Hercules is basically between the peninsula of Iberia, which is Spain, and Morocco, right? That's what they're talking about, right, at this point, which is Libya is right outside of Libya. Libya is right there. So it says, well, at that time, that were all called Libya. Matter of fact, like this is like way before all the places were separated. So all of North Africa at this time used to be like called Libya. And then it says, and the inhabitants by the people to whom they bring their cargoes. The Carthaginians unload their wares. Oh, now I can see it better. Okay. It says inhabitants by the people whom they bring their cargoes. Then what he's doing is he's saying that this is actually referring to synagogue. It was a trade from synagogue, from the Carthaginian synagogue, that Herodotus is actually what's that word called? Like, he's confirming it, what he's trying to say, right? So this has nothing to do with trades coming from West Africa. It's talking about Libya and shit, and the islands of Libya. So the page before 196 would be 195. It tells you who were the people, and it tells you that the people were the islands of Cyprus today.
And also, where is that location? Libya or Carthage? Where's that location?
Mediterranean Sea. That's North Africa.
North Africa. So again, what would that have to do with anything with West Africa?
It had nothing to do. Had nothing to do with West Africa, and plus, Carthaginians are Phoenicians. They're not.
Exactly.
They're not West African. They're not
And
Mali.
for the people out there, what would be the Phoenicians biblically? What would they be?
The people out there, you asking me, Canaanites?
Yeah, I'm just saying, just for the people out there, what would they be for the viewing audience that are into the Bible? What would the Phoenicians be that were in Carthage?
Hey, babe.
All right, so yeah, they're basically be Canaanites, right? So let me keep playing the video.
Then they reboard their boats and light a smoky fire when the neighbor inhabitants see the.
No, but as a side joke, basically what I was just saying, people, is that King Seth is basically teaching here about how his people are these Carthaginians or Phoenicians or Canaanites or Moors. Okay, people, I want you to kind of view that. So again, you have King Seth basically admitting that African Americans are basically Canaanites, and he's basically teaching you guys their African Canaanite history about them being in North Africa.
The smoke. They come from the shores, and after setting out gold in exchange for good, they withdrew. The Carthaginians disembarked and examined what the natives have left there. And if the gold appears to lead them to worthy of the price for their wages, they take it and depart. If not, they get back on their boats and sit down and wait until the natives approach again and set out for more gold until they satisfy the Carthaginians. The amount is sufficient. This is where the gold is coming from. This is called the influence. The money, and the power. You got the gold.
The Carthaginians is bringing their stuff to the people on the Cyprus, on the Mediterranean islands, which is outside of Libya, on the sea by the Pillars of Hercules. So what the Carthaginians did, they traded whatever they had to the people on the island, and they would bring the boats to the island, and they would knock off a fire, telling the people that they were there. And so when the people on the islands on the Mediterranean Sea will come to the Carthaginians with gold, they will purchase what they want. And sometimes that if they didn't have enough gold, they'll wait on their boats. The Phoenicians will wait on the boats until the people on the Cyprus will come back with more gold until they were satisfied. And then they would take the gold and leave back to Carthage. That was their trading routes. But he's trying to assert that somehow West Africa was trading gold before before Islam and the Moors and everybody got there. That's why he showed Herodotus, because Herodotus was about 5th to 4th century BCE. So he's trying to confirm his thoughts or confirmation bias with information that has absolutely to do with his narrative. But yeah, I'm done, bro.
I can make you do what I want. This is influence. So we influencing these so-called Moors because this is a hub. You got another route. The South, and I'm not going to, because I'm going for time. So I'm going to try to be quick. We can say that the South, this is from Britannica. The South goes all over. The South goes all over from all the way up here. Even when you look at the map, it goes from the kingdom right here in Mali, Timbuktu, and all this right here, all the way here. This is where the gold comes from. We had took control of the routes. Hold on.
Is that sure that in his information said it came from the North Africa?
You said something?
Didn't his information said the gold came from the North Africans?
Yep.
Go back one more slide. Oh no, go right here. Reading about the world. This is about a guy that went to that was in Timbuktu. This is learning influence. This is the map. This is where we get into the intricate knowledge of the world. Okay, El Hassan bin Mahad Mazid was born in the Moorish city of Granada in 1485, but was expelled along with his parents and thousands of Muslims from Ferdinand and Isabella in 1492. Settling in Morocco, he studied in Fez, and as a teenager accompanied his uncle on diplomatic missions throughout North Africa and through the sub-Saharan kingdom of Ghana. Still a young man, he was captured by Christian pirates and presented as an exceptionally learned slave of the great Renaissance Pope Leo X. Leo freed him, baptized him under the name Jonas Leo de Medici, and commissioned him to write an Italian and detailed survey of Africa, which provided most of the Europeans what they knew about the continent for several centuries at the time. And this didn't happen overnight. This gold and salt just didn't happen overnight. This through before the Europeans even knew what was going on. At the time he visited Ghana city of Timbuktu. It was somewhat past its peak, but still thriving Islamic city, famous for its what? Learning. Timbuktu was to become a byword in Europe and as most inaccessible of cities. But at the time Leo visited, it was the center of busy trade in African products and in books. Leo said to have died in 1554 in Tunis, having reconverted to Islam. See, they was converts. So these was people that was converted through Islam through the trade routes. You're gonna see it. What evidence does he provide that suggests the importance of learning in Timbuktu? Real talk. It was important to go and learn in Timbuktu. Let's see about some scholastics. You know what I'm saying? Timbuktu literary output was enormous and included works. Now let's continue to remember what the word influence means, y'all. I gave y'all the definition. This guy right here, he like a, come on, man, stop. Timbuktu literally output was enormous and included works covering the history of Africa and Southern Europe, religion, mathematics, medicine, and law. There were manuscripts detailing the movement of the stars, possible cures of malaria, remedies of menstrual pains. Now let's go down to the bottom. I want to go to the bottom right here. It's like the astronomers didn't follow the European leap to the sun-centered solar system, but they sprang far ahead in mathematics and calendar writing, far ahead in trigonometry. The writing detailed astronomy events 600 years ago. Scholars racing to translate the huge troves of literature now wonder what these ancients knew about medicine, botany, chemistry, and climatology. How did the knowledge of the other religions flow through the glitter? Exactly. This is Timbuktu, y'all. Let's stop playing games. Timbuktu influence around the 12th century. The University of Timbuktu had in attendance 25,000 students. This is the first university. Look at how it's built. We even influence the way that the structure of a university is built. Let's get it. The students came from all corners of the African continent in search of excellence of knowledge. The students came from all corners of the African continent in search of excellence in knowledge. They all coming to Timbuktu. So you mean to tell me that's not influence through the whole continent? You mean to tell me that the Moors ain't coming to Timbuktu to study? They got the great minds. It was 3 of them built there. So what you telling me? So on graduation day, students were given turbans. The turban symbolized divine light, which knowledge and excellent moral conduct. The turban represents the demarcation line between knowledge and ignorance. The knots of the circles in the turban represent the name Allah. So that's where your graduation days come from. We influence.
All right, let me ask you this, Emac. What is his purpose of bringing up Timbuktu? Is he basically saying that African Americans were the people of Timbuktu or something?
Yeah, that's what he's saying. Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Have you ever seen this before?
What are you doing?
From Babylon to Timbuktu with Windsor, yes.
What does it teach about African Americans? Who are they according to this book?
Refresh my memory.
The Jews.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Right? Hold on. So again, people, what this guy is bringing out, He's bringing out information from Babylon to Timbuktu. Now, remember, his first source was talking about the people in Carthage and stuff like that, right? Right, Emac? The Phoenicians and stuff? Right? This is on page 106, right? From Babylon to Timbuktu by so-called African-American, Rudolph Windsor. And it says the language, which is called the Hebrew Phoenician or Canaanite, was employed in the lands called Phoenicia, Palestine, or Canaan for over 1,000 years before the Aramean Abraham, Isaac, or Jacob came to Canaan. The Israelites lost their Aramaic language and adopted the Hebrew speech of the Canaanites. The Hebrew Phoenician merchants from the city of Sidon and Tyre controlled the trade along the Mediterranean coast for more than 1,000 years. So remember, this whole point is this guy's talking about controlling the Mediterranean, correct? Emac, with all this trade?
Yep.
According to this book of Timbuktu, that's what the Canaanites were known for.
Right.
Again, people, what is King Tut teaching you guys? You guys are Canaanites. Because watch what he's going to say here, bro. I'm telling you. It says the Mediterranean coast for more than 1,000 years before there were any economic treaties made with the Israelites. The Hebrew-speaking Phoenician Canaanites established their greatest city in Carthage, at Tunis in North Africa. All the locations that King Seth has been showing all over that map, right? Including North Africa, including Timbuktu is in North Africa, not West Africa, right? Because that's what the book is about, right? In Carthage, in Tunis, in North Africa, all the Canaanites were black people. Before the Phoenicians established their colony in Carthage in Africa, many Hebrew-speaking Canaanites had migrated across northern Africa. Bro, this is the book that a lot of the Hebrew Israelites use to show you how it talks about how the Negro left 70 AD and went into West Africa. They use this source, right? So according to Babylon to Timbuktu, the Negroes are actually the Jews, according to this author, and the Phoenicians and the Carthaginians and stuff like that were the Phoenicians, which are also black people. So right now, King Seth is basically teaching you guys that you guys are Canaanites right now.
Graduation days. We influence the little hat with the tassel and letting you go and saying you ready for the world. Stop playing with me. Let's go to the level. Mathematics. The Shango bone civilization in Africa is also evident in the field of mathematics. The oldest known mathematical tool found in human history is the Shango bone, dating to around 85,000 BC. The Shango bone has been regarded as a mathematical object made from a fibula of a baboon. Let's stop playing, man. Let's stop playing. We influencing mathematics on the West. You know what I'm saying? Egypt, they was great, but we was great too. Let's get it, man. Mathematical treasures in Timbuktu. For over thousands of years, beginnings in the 11th century, Timbuktu, a city-state, now in the West African country of Mali, was a vital trade center for the Northern Sahara region. It was also a site of Islamic scholarship and many libraries. Many of the manuscripts once found in these cities have been destroyed and ravaged over time. Thus, it is a rare find to find mathematical manuscripts from the.
I know y'all hear that motherfucker just skipping words and like all mush mouth and shit. Oh man.
This early period. Explanations of problems of arithmetic, for examples. The commentary by the 7th century scholar Ahmad ibn Salim al-Harufni, damn, I can't say that name, on the work of medieval mathematician al-Samlali, provides its readers with the background in arithmetic in problem solving, as well as supplying a brief history of the development of mathematics. The page shown below depicts the numerals to be used. It's over here on the side. Now, what was Spain doing? They was Vandals. They was Visigoths. What did the Visigoths come up with, my opponent? What was the Vandals doing, you Vandal? Yeah, that's what you is. You gotta show something that came before the Moors, because they got it from up with, my opponent. What was the Vandals doing, you Vandal? Yeah, that's what you is. You want to claim you gotta show something that came before the Moors, because they got it from Timbuktu. Now let's go to the Moors. Speaking of the devil, the Moors occupied Spain in 711 AD, when what was described as a African army crossed the Straits of Gibraltar from northern Africa. The Moors led Tariq of being invaded in Iberian Peninsula, Andalus, when Spain was
remaining.
Got something to say? You were saying something, Emac?
Nah.
Oh. Again, I'm curious. Again, it seems like he's reading something about the Moors now. Correct?
Yes.
Bro, the Moors West Africans, bro.
No.
Your
Okay.
understanding is very small, Jose. Brother, the debate is influence that West Africans had. The Moors are not West Africans. They are North Africans.
Right. And
Like,
you notice that Moors are the Magdrids. The Magdrids are the people that took over the Barbary Coast. The Barbary Coast would be North Africa and the west part of it's the western part of the North Africa. It's not West Africa. West Africa starts in Negro land, and then that's where you get the Sub-Sahara and Sahara is separated. So they came down, and the people he's trying to use that the Moors were the people in Mali and Timbuktu who were black people. That's his that's what he's trying to put together. Oh, but don't worry, I'm gonna show you how the people in Timbuktu look. I'm gonna show you that. We got manuscripts on the people in Timbuktu who got the university and how the teachers look. The ones who hold the scrolls.
All right.
How many minutes? What you said? Was still under the rule of the Visigoths. Now watch this, bro. Let's get it. The Moors occupation lasted for 800 years, affecting the Spanish language. Affecting the Spanish language. So what did they learn? Timbuktu. The Moors learned their knowledge in Timbuktu. So when they went to Spain, nigga, anything that they affected Spain was from Timbuktu. Was from North and West Africa. What did it say? Affecting the Spanish language. And even the music.
Where the hell does it say that the Moors learned that in Timbuktu? Anywhere in this thing that he's reading? It doesn't say that. He just clearly interjected that in there, bro.
Music. With the introduction of the flamenco, health and hygiene. Y'all wasn't even bathing. Y'all was staking up the place. How you get rotten history for stinking when y'all came over here? Y'all got rotten history for being funky. Stop it. We gave y'all toothpaste, toothbrush, with the followed by an incredible wealth of new medical knowledge about diseases and diagnose, as well as curing these medicines, surgery, and scientific interventions. Where you think they got the knowledge from? They got the knowledge from Timbuktu. Crazy? Yeah, let's get it. Let's go down here. They also introduced highly sophisticated.
It's time. King said, "Oh, you can finish your sentence."
Oh, huh?
Right. Right. All right. We got 15 minutes now. Let's deal with Spain history, my man. My man. Let's deal with it. All right. We're gonna deal with the first part, right? First, when you look at Spain, first, what does it symbolize? It symbolizes the oldest legend says red and yellow represents the king's blood on his golden shield. So that's what it represents. The color. You got somebody got to mute out. That's what the color represents on it. All right. So where's your flag? Why didn't you go and show your flag pre Columbus or pre European? Where's your flags at? You know what I'm saying? So let's go move on to the next part, right? So the Spanish royal crown is the top of the head on the flag, right? And then when you look at it, it's actually an amalgamation of different empires within Spain. It wasn't just Spain is just not one empire. So now when you look at the imperial crown on the left, it's going to see that it's you know, it's the kings, you know, the queens, whatever you talk about. So the Aragon is the actual kingdom that's, you know, it was a current autonomous community within Spain, and it was formed together with Navarre. Navarre was a other former kingdom. It was an autonomous community as well, right? And then you also have the Kingdom of Leon. The Kingdom of Leon is actually another kingdom in Spain. And then you got another kingdom, which you call the Castile, which you know, where you get Isabella and all them things from. But anyways, so when you look at the two pillars right here, the two pillars actually represents the pillars.
Yeah, if you look at the Kingdom of Leon, they lived in Iberia. The word Hebrew is literally the same word as Iberia, and then the Leon is the tiger. I mean, is lion in Greek. And then if you look at Hebrew, the word Leon is the word Ari, and Ari is the line of Zion. Just peep that out. Y'all didn't even notice that. But go ahead, bro. Of Hercules, and what it actually represents that, like, if these pillars will fall, it will cause the end of the world within inside the Mediterranean Sea, bro. So without Spain actual port from trading, all of that would collapse. So that means all your African trade would collapse, all your European trade collapse, and your Middle Eastern trade would collapse if those pillars caused to fall, which is only about 9 miles away from Africa. So if you look at the pomegranate flower at the bottom, you know what I'm saying, of Granada, it actually represents the fall of the Moors. And then, come on now, bro. If you look at the two words that see that PLVS in the ultra, it actually represents two words. This is what it means in Latin. It means further and beyond. So this was Spanish official motto. If you ain't know, the land of beyond, and they wanted to get past that because everybody was afraid. They don't know what was past that. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna actually get more into details right here. Now, when you look at Spain, Spain is actually an exonym and the derivation of the word. So let's actually look more close. Jose.
So the derivation of the Phoenician Hispania.
Yo, that pomegranate that I showed you in the bottom of the Spanish flag. So Granada, it represents Granada was the last kingdom to transfer the power over to the other kingdoms, which was the Moorish Empire. So when the Moorish Empire fell, Granada was their post, which is south of Spain. And then when you look at it, bro, when they fell, that pomegranate represented the fall of Granada, the last kingdom to rule, which was the Moors.
and they didn't rule all of Spain. You know what I'm saying? They ruled at one peak, probably the bottom of Spain, but they started to decrease a lot of power. So they didn't have all influence on Spain. That's what I'm trying to say is. Yeah, meaning islands of the rabbits, land of the rabbits, or the edge as a reference to Spain location at the end of the Mediterranean. So that's what it means, bruh. We're at the end of the world or the end of the ocean or the end of the land. That's what it means, Spain, bro. And it was named by the Carthaginians somewhere around 300 BC. So they the one that called it Spain. We ain't call it Spain. They called it Spain from a long time ago. So I don't know, what are you talking about, bro? Like, it hasn't been around. Like, everybody knew Spain represents the end or the edge of the world or the land. Nothing past that at this point. So the Hispania or Español may derive from the poetic use of the term Hesperia, reflecting the Greek perception of Italy as the western land or the land of the setting sun, of the Hespera, and the Spain being still further west as Hespera Ultima. So it means that it is the end of the land. Ultima means ultima, or it means the end. So regardless, the western land of Spain has always been an excellent, because Greeks and Phoenicians called that land the end or the edge of the world. In the west, where the sun sets, where the sun, you know what I'm saying, goes down. You know what I'm saying? We're not in the east, we're in the west. So let's move on to this part of my debate. We're going to move on to the culture part, because we already figured out before what actually how the Spain history actually derives. So let's go to the culture part and how the culture part actually influenced the whole world. Now, Rome and Spain has a written and influence over West Africa. So now this part right here, through European colonization, the Latin script has spread to the Americas, Oceania, parts of Asia, Africa, and Pacific, and forms based on a Spanish, Portuguese, English, French, German, and Dutch alphabets. You know what that means, King Seth? That means that your Niger Congo language that you guys actually made up has no written script to it. If you look at the Niger Congo branch, until the European colonization, there was no written script to it. You had a language, yes, but you had no script to it. If you look at Yoruba written language today, it's actually using Latin, the Latin script, and it's used for many Austronesian languages, including the language of the Philippines, the Malaysians, and the Indonesian language, replacing the earlier Arabic and indigenous Brahmic alphabets. So not only did Latin influence the whole world, just not in Africa, also it went to the Philippines and Austros, and the Austronesian language was actually influenced from the Latin script. That's what they use. So that's all the way towards where? The Oceania, the Pacific Islands. Wow. Where's the West Africans there? Anyways, the Romans first came to Spain in 206 BCE when they invaded the Iberian Peninsula, right? And now today, the Latin script is commonly encountered across Africa, especially in Western and Central and Southern African regions. Arabic script is mainly used in North Africa, and Ge'ez and Ethiopic script is widely used in the Horn of Africa. But is that from West Africa? No, that's from Arabia. So even the Arabs' influence in West Africa is not even yours. So we're going to go through the classical era and the antiquities. So the flamenco guitar, which is a similar classical guitar, but commonly found in Spain and in Latin America. So that's why you hear all those people, the marachis, playing those string guitar, ding, 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 in our Spanish and Latin music. It came from Spain, from the flamenco music. Now, this is also was a classical antiquity part, and also a classical era, a classical period, or classical age is the period of culture history between the 8th century BCE and the 6th century AD, centered on the Mediterranean Sea, compromising the intellect and civilization of the ancient Greece and Rome, known as the Greco-Roman world. And it's the period right here. It is the period which both Greeks and Roman societies flourished, wielded huge influence throughout much of Europe, North Africa, and Western Asia. So that means that the reason why everybody's using Greek and Roman shit is because of the classical antiquity era. Right. So the Spanish people produce a global and musical notes that they produce around the earth. Now let's look at this right here. The music of Spain has a long history. It has played an important role in the development in Western music and has been greatly influenced Latin American music. Spanish music is often associated with traditional styles such as flamenco and classical guitar. So you body yourself there talking about, oh, the Moors and bro, you're done, bro. Stop it, body bag right there. Now, the founder of what is now considered the standard music staff of we.
Yeah.
All the trees are ready.
Y'all forgot the I of musical notes.
Give him a bing bong boop.
Bing bong. Bro, that's why I say, bro, when did the West Africans took music and put it across? What they trying to say that, oh, this doesn't apply to Spanish people because of Italy. And then I had to tell these folks, I'm like, bro, I'm pretty sure Italy are Latin people, and that's why Spanish people are called Latin and Latinos from Italy. So I'm like, y'all dudes are stupid. Spanish is Latin, bro. So it comes from Italy. So that's why that I was putting them together. Like, oh no, that's Italians. You can't use that, man. You can't use that. Like, man, it was put in our in Spain. It was put. That's why we was music composers. That wasn't made by no Moors. And even then he still tried to use the Moors. The Moors aren't even West African, so he still used North African people within West Africa. So even if I use Italy, it's still relevant because he used other people that had nothing to do with West Africa. So if you're gonna say that Spain had nothing to do with Italy, we gotta take that out. Then it's still like we can still be looked at the same as King Seth. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what the fuck is the point, bro? Y'all just biased.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. That's completely off topic. You know what I'm saying? You talk about West Africa. You keep bringing up North Africans. Like I didn't understand it. Like that's how and again, I'm not being biased because again, like I tell you people, I really don't care about the Spaniards or the West African debate. All I'm just being is confused about why King Seth keeps bringing up North Africa. That's just something I noticed during the whole debate, and it didn't make sense to me because of the title of the debate.
Right. Guido di Arezzo, an Italian Benedictine monk who lived from about 1991 until after 1033 AD. So if you're looking at the person who actually took all the musical notes, produced it, wrote it, and put it around the world, Latins did that. Latinos did that. Spain did that. We did that. If it wasn't for us, no music composers will actually exist because the actual notes come from the Latin people. That's why you actually read Latin music language, music notes. And not on top of that, the music notes was produced and used across the whole world. Now Asians use it. The whole world was influenced from Latin. Stop it, bro. So the Spaniards domesticated animals into America. So the livestock species were brought from the Iberian Peninsula, son. Yo. That shit went over their heads, my dude. Yo, don't the Asians today? Remember we had the discussion, Jose? And Jose brought up a perfect point. Like, you know, a lot of those Asians in Asia, they're pretty good as with music. You know, their music is fucking dope. Like, you know, there's schools of just Asians in classes, and they all play musical notes perfect, synchronized, and they're real talented. But the funny thing is, if Spain is Spanish and Latin people that had no influence on the world, then how come the Asian people use musical notes that the Latin people made in the 10th century AD? You see what I'm saying? So that kind of body bagged them there. That was perfect.
That's right.
You guys saw, now that you say so.
Peninsula to the Americas since the late 15th century, starting with the second trip of Columbus, which departed from the Spanish city of Cadiz in 1493. In addition to the horse, the Spanish brought domesticated cattle, sheep, goats, pigs, chickens to the Americas. What do you bring? You didn't bring livestock to the Americas. The Spanish did. We did. So that's why in Craig, shout out to Craig Scrubs. That's why in Craig Scrubs, the Tainos didn't even have any livestock until the Spanish Empire came in and influenced Tainos. That's why they have cows and livestock.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. This is your first round, right? This is the first round, and I'm not gonna lie. You're body bagging him right now, bro, and that's a very powerful point. What you're talking about right now.
Right.
Because I've heard his second round. He's gonna start talking about the rice and remember, I kind of clowned him when he was talking about that stuff about the rice and rice and beans, whatever the case would be. He was talking about, we brought rice and beans to you guys and shit like that. And I told him, man, y'all didn't bring nothing. First of all, y'all was slaves. It's not like, you know what it is, Ebac? They think how slavery was, Ebac. Look, they think this is slavery. They think that the Europeans, the Spaniards, and Portuguese rounded up on slave ships, right? With their rice, with their, you know, all their little goods, whatever the case would be, so that when they got to the Americas, the African Americans just got off these slave ships and were like, hey, man, anybody want some of that rice? We got that fire rice. We got that. Man, stop it, man. The Spaniards brought the rice. Just like the Spaniards took many of our crops and brought it to Africa. Perfect example. Corn. What do you think? What do you think West Africans and Africans started cultivating corn in the 1600s? Woo! Oh, we can't put one and one together. Like it's easy. Yo, that was easy work. Like what you just talking about, like, of course, like, yo, these guys really think, yo, we brought you guys rice. Ha ha ha, Hispanics, bow down to you ain't bring nothing. The Spaniards did. Y'all weren't over here hustling the rice and stop it, bro. This is ridiculous. That was ridiculous.
Stocks there in Puerto Rico today. It was because of us. You know, didn't even the Spanish did. We did. So that's why in Craig, shout out to Craig Scrubs. That's why in Craig Scrubs, the Tainos didn't even have any livestock until the Spanish Empire came in and influenced Tainos. That's why they have cows and livestock there in Puerto Rico today. It was because of us. It wasn't because the West Africans brought it in. They came in and influenced Tainos. That's why they have cows and livestock there in Puerto Rico today. It was because of us. The Tainos didn't even have any livestock until the Spanish Empire came in and influenced Tainos. That's why they have cows and livestock there in Puerto Rico today. It was because of us. It wasn't because the West Africans brought it in. They came in and influenced Tainos. That's why they have cows and livestock there in Puerto Rico today. It was because of us. It wasn't because the West Africans brought it in. Come on, man. Stop that pseudo-ness, bro. You know who you dealing with, bro? You're dealing with Emmaculate. If you don't know what Emmaculate means, it means immaculate, perfection. Stop that pseudo-ness, bro. You know who you dealing with, bro? You're dealing with Emmaculate. If you don't know what Immaculate means, it means immaculate, perfection. I ain't messing up tonight. You know who you dealing with, bro? You're dealing with Immaculate. If you don't know what Immaculate means, it means immaculate, perfection. I ain't messing up tonight. I'm a body bag, y'all. So let's deal with the religion part of Spain. Now, this is the religion part of my debate that I said I was going to bring out, and I'm going to show without a fan of facts the certain things in the religion, how it influenced the world. Who were the Roman Republic? Romans began as a monarchy around 800 BC and began growing north of the Tiber in the 6th century, right? After the lines of the kings, Rome turned into a republic in 509 BCE. Now, the legend of Romulus and Remus probably originated in the 4th century BCE, was set down in the, Coherent form at the end of the 3rd century BCE. It contains a mixture of Greek and Roman elements. And the Greeks customarily created mythical eponymous heroes to explain the origins of the place names. So that's why you see the wolf is actually breastfeeding Romulus and Remus and his twin brother after their uncle, the king, had kicked them out. The Roman Empire didn't just come out of existence out of nowhere. Come on, it was the Greeks that actually created mythical eponymous heroes. And to explain the origin of our names, we use that. You know what I'm saying? So the actual she-wolf of the Roman Empire actually means a mother figure, a protection, fertility, strength, the foundation of Rome, good fortune. That's what it represents. So all that stuff that you're talking about is foolery, bro. So now this is right here, the parts of the actual Catholicism, how Catholics actually ruled. This is the chronology. The bishops of rule were ruling in the 1st century AD. Now, the Pope of the Bishop of Rome, the name derived from a Greek word papas, meaning father. And that's why the Romes actually looked at the Pope as Papa, or you call them father. Hey, father, could you help me? And it also means that the earlier church of St. Pete, you know what I'm saying? It links to St. Pete. That's what it links to. And now the first church was around 300 AD. And it actually was during the time of Constantine, established 3 important churches in Rome. He also had a vision of Christ, the Lord and Savior, and gave Constantine a vision that he would win the war to establish Jesus Christ's ministry. To establish the Christ on earth was through Constantine. But then the Visigoths came and destroyed it. That's how the Roman Empire fell. They became Vandals. That's where you get the sack Rome. The sack of Rome was 400 AD. So now when you go down to the Vandals weren't Spanish. The Vandals were actually Visigoths. They vandalized. That's where you get the word Vandal from. So actually Charlemagne in 700 was the actual king that put together all of the empires. The Crusaders as well. Then we have also Wycliffe, who became a heresy, and he wanted to actually show that the actual language should be written in the Bible in their language. So I'm gonna end my time there, and I'm gonna go ahead and finish my round right there. Got 1 minute. Fought the Arabs, Muslims from Jerusalem in the Holy Land of Israel and kicked them out of there. So how is the Roman Empire evil when they're actually helping out God's children? And then you also see at that time where the heresy started come out, and then the history of Wycliffe starts when he was actually today in Israel is going against the Arabs and the Muslims in Israel today, in Jerusalem. And the funny thing is, I said that the Crusaders back in the 10th century, they kicked out the Muslims in Israel like before, bro, and now they're doing the same shit again today. But instead of the Roman kicking them out, the Muslims, the Israelis got enough power to kick those people out. Because remember, at that time, Israel had fell. You know what I'm saying? During 70 AD, so they didn't have an empire yet. So they were slowly building it up. So when the Islams and the Muslims, who the Ishmaelites came, remember, Arabs are Ishmaelites. They came into Jerusalem, and that's where you get the Dome of Rock. You see what I'm saying? So it's like funny how history kind of repeats itself, bro. So actually trying to propose or give the corruption of the church, and wanted the people to have the Bibles or the scriptures in their own language. It says it right here. The Christian needs an example of scriptures which believers should be able to read in their own language. That's why they were killed for the heresies. All right. And it's history ever since then.
Okay.
Are we done?
Yeah. You are.
All right.
Okay. King Seth.
Yeah, my screen sharing.
Damn, was that my first round, bro? Damn. That shit is funny, bro.
Yeah, it did seem a little short. I don't think you wasted. You had like 15 minutes, right?
Yeah, like I had my own time.
Yeah, I don't think you wasted all your 15 minutes. I think you gave up the time at the end.
Yeah, I know. I didn't even realize that. Just told me like, fuck.
Yeah,
I was trying to rush right at the end because I had so much to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at my
Now,
time.
yes,
Like,
King. Yeah, we got just one more round with just you and King Seth is about to do a second round, and then
Right.
Emac is going to do a second round. Like I said, when I watched this debate, like I said, I think the second round from Emac is where he really shined. Even though the first round, Emac did present better information. King Seth needs to learn how to read a little bit better, present his information a little bit better. That's just my opinion. But let's let it play. King Seth, second round.
Is my screen sharing?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, man. Come on, man. You talking about the Romans, bro, and the Visigoths, bro. Say, man, that's who the Moors kicked out of Spain. We talking about from the world now. You talking about the Romans, man? Stop it, man. I'm finna kill you. Let's go with I stopped and matter of fact, now let me go back to this. Let me go back to the slide that I was finna left out.
He's triggered.
I was finna tell you what. Oh, here we go, right here. You know what I'm saying?
Do you hear right here? Voice?
Since he want to talk about language and music, the Moorish occupation lasted for almost 800 years, affecting the Spanish language and even the music scenario with the introduction of what? Flamenco. They introduced flamenco to the people you talking about, dude. So stop playing. With health and hygiene were among the list of more priorities.
Did I rewind it?
Invention of toothbrush, followed by the incredible wealth of.
Yeah, that was untrue because flamenco arrived like in the 18th century. It wasn't even our music. It wasn't. It didn't come about until the classical guitar came out, because the flamenco was built off the classical guitar. So when the Arabs came in, they had like little small mini guitars. They're real small, and they didn't look shit like a guitar, like the classical guitar that we see today. So he's trying to like assert a false information and shit, because the flamenco didn't come till after the Moors already had left. You know what I'm saying? We already had been destroyed in the 14th, in the 13th century and shit. So yeah, from Jerusalem in the Holy Land, where the hair example.
Okay. Yes.
We talking about from the world now. You talking about the Romans, man? Stop it, man. I'm finna kill you. Let's go with and I stopped and matter of fact, let me go back to this. Let me go back to the slide that I was finna left out with. I was finna tell you what. Oh, here we go, right here. You know what I'm saying? Let's go right here. Since he want to talk about language and music, the Moorish occupation lasted for almost 800 years, affecting the Spanish language and even the music scenario with the introduction of what? Flamenco. They introduced flamenco to the people you talking about, dude. So stop playing. With health and hygiene were among the list of Moore's priorities. With the invention of toothbrush, followed by the incredible wealth of new medical knowledge for diseases diagnosis, as well as curing those, medicine, surgery, and other scientific inventions. But this was not all Moore's brought to the knowledge of agriculture, such as cultivation of various fruits, including lemons, almonds, oranges, bananas, coffee, and eggplants, and taught the Spanish farmers how to cultivate cotton as well as silk. They introduced highly sophisticated irrigation systems, some of which have been installed by the Romans in the 4th century, and which were which the Moors restored. They influenced it because they changed. Let's not forget the definition. Restored and extended. These brought water into urbanized areas through complex networks, pools and fountains, private homes, and their gardens, public squares, including public baths, all benefited from this water supply, some of which still can be found in Andalusia. Nigga, right now today, man, stop playing with me, man. Debunked your little flamenco. This what your boy Leo Africanus had to say. Let's go down to the bottom. I ain't even gonna read the top. Royal Courts is magnificent. This what
you said what?
No, that doctor was super pseudo.
Yeah, who is he?
Yeah, I forget his name though, but he said the flamenco shit. The flamenco didn't come to the 18th century during the classical guitar came around. So and then they said the flamenco was actually had influence from Spanish gypsies, and also that the impact of the Moors with the Spanish it didn't say like it impact the Spanish that we speak today. It said that it impact the Spanish that the Moors speak, because Spanish is still Latin, you know, so it has its roots in Latinos. So it's like saying the Sephardic Jews had an effect on Spanish, so we call it Ladino. So that's what I brought out, you know what I'm saying? So he fucked up.
what he said about Timbuktu. As well organized. When the kings go off to the court and another people in the court, he rides the camel, and the horses are led by hand servants. Man, I don't even want to do this, like, man, because I need some time. So I got. Boy, I'll let you tell you. Let's go to architecture. Spain has the greatest variety. And this right here, this is Granada right here. This is the palace that the Moors built. So anything that you talking about from right now, from this period on into Latin America,
where the Moors ruled. So we're just looking at just Moorish buildings, you know what I'm saying, in Granada. So he's kind of just taking information and kind of like putting his own twist to it. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly. It's not saying that the Moors created it or just built it. It's basically saying that when the Moors conquered Spain and basically reconstructed the architecture, you know, basically put the shit back together, you know. But the Spanish already had it.
Yeah. Yeah, they've been building castles and shit like that back in the day. So oh, you go ahead.
Conquered, you gotta show me Visigoth. You gotta show me Vandals. I don't see no Vandals building nothing like this. Spain has the greatest variety of architecture in Europe because of its history. The Moors conquered Spain in 711 and exerted a strong what influence? That word, daddy. That word. You know what I'm saying? Influence on Spanish architecture. The what influence, that word again, was to make architecture more decorative. Gothic architecture in Spain was more decorative than Gothic architecture in other European countries because many Moorish features were added. because we did it. We influenced it. This happened also with Renaissance architecture and barbecue architecture. Even today, it has exerted its what? That word again. Influence in many modern buildings. Let's go. You know what I'm saying?
You're just saying that it
influence
gives
in
them like
language. And this is right
it
here.
influenced the decorative part of the building. So the Spains already had that, but they just put he tried to twist it and kind of lie to the audience that they gave them the influence of on how to build. It wasn't that. It said that it gave them the influence on the decorative part of the building. So he fucked up there. If you go back and you read it, so he messed up there. He like trying to lie to the people and shit.
All your language that you're talking about, bro. You know what I'm saying? Kirsten, this is from her Purdue University. In the plantation society of the Caribbean islands, people of African ancestry have substantial control over their daily lives, despite the efforts of political dominant minority groups to restrain and oppress them. The lack of cultural homogeneity.
No, you can leave it. He's about to put up the La Bamba right now.
As well as the laziness of the plantation elites, provided an almost unique opportunity for African masses to create their own society and what? That word again, influence the high culture. Caribbean people speak variants of standard European languages, which always reflect what? West African speech patterns. Regardless of whether the spoken language is now English, Spanish, French, or Dutch. The French spoken in Haiti constitutes as a language as its own. In the Caribbean, Aruba and Pioneer Papiamento, a blend of Dutch, Spanish, and Portuguese is one of the official languages. None of these Creole languages is limited to the poor or educated classes. Creole has been given the greater respect in literature and political life of the Caribbean islands. So, nigga, over there in Latin America, they don't even speak the same Spanish, and even if they did speak the Spanish was influenced by West and North Africans, the Moors. We already established that. If they got the knowledge, straight from
the Moors were West African, dog.
He said what? He said that they were West African, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah. He didn't even say North Africa. He said West Africans.
He said West and North Africa. That's what he said. He said West and North Africa.
Right back, a few seconds back. Listen to him, dog. He cut his own self.
The Spanish was influenced by West and North Africans, the Moors. So nigga over there in Latin America, they don't even speak the same Spanish. And even if they did speak the Spanish was influenced by West and North Africans, the Moors. We already established over there in Latin America, they don't even speak the same Spanish. And even if they did speak the Spanish was influenced by West and North Africans, the Moors.
He said West Africans.
Yeah, he said West and North Africa. I should say the Moors are not West Africans, bro.
That's what
I'm saying, bro. It's horrible. And again, the Moors, like I said, were the people from Carthage, which are the Canaanites. And originally, if you want to be originally, they're from the land of Canaan, which is the Middle East. They're not even technically like Northwest Africans like that. If you want to be technical.
Bantu, yeah. And but the thing is too, those whatchamacallit, the Moors were Arabs. Most of the Moors were Arabs, were those pale Arabs that you see, like Muhammad, you know what I'm saying? So like the Moors came from Ishmaels and the sons of Abraham and Egyptian. And they came from Arabia. They're invaders. So how the fuck are you saying they're West Africans and North Africans? The North Africans are the Berbers. That's the Moors part. But originally, the Arabs came in with the Islam and influenced all of West Africa. So you're trying to give all your praises to the Arabs who enslaved you Negroes.
Yeah, sure.
We already established that they got the knowledge straight from
Damn, Emac, you got him so mad after that first round, bro. He over here screaming, bro.
You notice that?
Timbuktu. Even if they Creole has been given the greater respect in literature and political life of the Caribbean islands. So nigga over there in Latin America, they don't even speak the same Spanish. And even if they did speak the Spanish was influenced by West and North Africans, the Moors. We already established that they got the knowledge straight from Timbuktu. Pignet language. Pignets and on-the-spot language that develop when people with no common language come into contact with others. Nobody speak a Pignet language as their first language. Usually a pidgin language is a blend of the vocabulary of one major language with the grammar of one of other languages. The major languages are usually the languages of the former major colonial powers, such as English, French, and Portuguese. For example, the establishment of the plantation economies in the Caribbean with large groups of slaves from different language backgrounds who came from where? West Africa, gave rise to a number of pidgins based on English, French, Spanish, Dutch, and what? Portuguese. And Isabella was not from Spain. Crazy. She was from Portugal. However, there were also pidgins spoken in parts of Africa, South America, and Southeast Asia that were based on languages other than those of colonial powers. A good example is a non-European pidgin of the Chinook jargon that was once used by American Indians or the European traders. Let's keep going. Spanish influence. Now I want to go down here to the bottom. But you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go down here to the bottom. The author states that this hold on, let me see. Yeah, the origin. Now right here, the bottom. According to Diaz, 2014, there's a phonic features of which are attributed to the Creole origin in which varieties of Caribbean Spanish, such as CISO, inspired with the elization of the S at the final position of the syllable, the yismo of the R and the I in the final position of the syllable, aspiration in the initial position of the syllable among itself. The origin of most of these phonetic forms remain unknown. But
going at this point, dog.
Bro, he's speaking fast as hell, bro. I can't even. Like I said, he's slurring his words. He's not reading correctly for the crowd. Like I don't understand, like how people like it's crazy. I can't understand what he's actually saying. I can read it because I can see it off my screen, but he's not really saying what's. I don't know. Like I said, bro, like he should have just calmed down and just read what's there. All this skipping around and trying to I don't know, bro. Like why, bro? This is your presentation. You're supposed to be reading everything there, bro.
That's sad.
The theory about the neutralization of the I and the use of the O instead of the I, Lipsky believes that it could be by influence of what? African languages. The other states that this phenomenon could be due to what? That word again. Due to the influence of the Kitgo language, because of that seems to be a typical feature of Spanish. As second language learner, the native Kitgo Lixby states that it is also a phenomenon and that word again, influence of Bantu languages, which are spoken in Northeast and South Africa. How they get it? We influence the Spanish that they speak now. You don't even speak the same Spanish over there. So every time you open your mouth and speak to your mama or your grandmama in Spanish, you better thank the West African ancestors. You better thank them on the boat because we gave it to you. Now watch this up. Congo Wikipedia.
He tried to say my grandmama, bro. He tried to take it personal. You better thank us, West African, and your grandmama. Whatever he said, bro. He got mad. But bro, he talking about like different dialects. Like nigga, Spanish is Spanish, nigga. Like, come on now, bro. You got different dialects. You know, like I know Africans got their own languages and they blended it with Spanish. But come on, in the Caribbean, like, but it's not fucking you guys teaching us Spanish and you guys put your own to it. Like, what the fuck? And then he says like, there's the word go influence.
Yeah, influence. I guess let's look up that word influence. I don't think King says what that word means, man. Oh man, let's look up that word influence, bro. All right, you can see it. It's on the screen. It says influence, the capacity to have an effect on the character, development, or behavior of someone or something, or the effect itself. Um, does it say anything about creating? Emac?
Nope.
So why is he talking about we gave you your language, like as if they created our language or created the Spanish language? Like I don't get it.
That's a good ass fucking point.
He just said, right? He said you better thank. He just told you, right? He said your grandma needs to thank his ancestors for creating the language, right?
Yeah.
Influence doesn't mean creation.
Right, because I already had Spanish. So how the fuck did
Exactly.
they create it?
Like it doesn't make sense. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like I said, bro, a lot of these African Americans in these group chats and these back chats are not really intelligent, bro. Like I said, that's why I really don't even take them that serious, man.
Facts.
Trials have been recorded in Puerto Rico. It is the Congo, for it is the Congo of the Central Africa that is considered to have had the what? The most influence, that word again, on Puerto Rican Spanish. In the early colonial period, many African slaves in Puerto Rico spoke Bozal African. You better thank the West Africans for what you speak. Boy, to your mama and your grandmama. Boy, you a vandal. Show me vandal language. I don't see no vandal language. Let's go. Let's keep it on where you from, Puerto Rico. We already just established that the language that you speak ain't even yours. So every time you open your mouth, you better pay homage. Puerto Rico is let's see why they speak this. Puerto Rico is a self-governing incorporated island in the United States of America, located in northeastern Caribbean and the foreign Spanish. I need to get down here, right here. Dominican and Taino. Initially, the inhabitants of Puerto Rico were the Tainos. They were later colonized by the Spanish, who were attracted to the gold. Gold mines available to the island. Due to the oppression of the colonial rule, the Taino population was greatly reduced, and Africans were brought from Africa as slaves to the islands. When the gold mines got depleted, Spanish colonizers did what? They left, and Africans were left as a majority group on the island. The slave trade, which was thriving in the 16th century, which was a great number of Africans from where? West Africa. Countries being transported to the American Indies. The African culture in Puerto Rico is drawn mainly from the who? The Yoruba people of West Africa. So you better thank us, boy, for your whole culture. You want to go?
Now, I'm sorry to say, bro, but this guy is illiterate, bro. He is illiterate. Let's read that, right? This is what I'm talking about, bro. African Americans in these group chats, they don't know how to read, bro. This is crazy. It says, look, the African culture in Puerto Rico. It doesn't say the Taino culture. It doesn't say the people, the Spain, the people that were in Puerto Rico that were actually Spaniards. It doesn't say that. It says the African culture in Puerto Rico is drawn mainly from the Yoruba people of West Africa. All that is saying, sir, is that the African slaves that went to Puerto Rico and got dropped off there, sir, were people from Yoruba. That's all it's saying. The African culture in Puerto Rico. See, it doesn't say Puerto Rico has African culture. You know, it's funny. It's funny because I had this discussion not too long ago, right? Right? And me and my wife, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, my wife, my grandma, and all them, they're island people, right? They're farmers, mountain people, stuff like that. Like they don't see no African culture in Puerto Rico. There is no African dance. we had this, like, I remember we had this discussion, you know what I'm saying? We were talking about all this stuff. I was like, yo, I asked my wife, I was like, yo, your mom and dad, they all live from the islands and stuff like that. Do they know any people out there speaking some African language? She was like, nope. I was like, yeah, me either, bro. I never heard my grandma or grandpa saying so, like, some African language over there in Puerto Rico. I was like, babe, do you know anything about African dance or anything over there? No, I don't know anything about no damn African dance over there. Nah, really? Me either.
Yeah. They're saying that since the Africans had their own little dance, that everything in the Caribbean is all African.
I got mommy.
That's crazy.
Like, bro, like.
But the thing is, but you know what the thing is that, but don't African Americans complain all the time about how they lost their culture and everything because of the transatlantic slave trade?
Yeah.
But now all of a sudden they have culture. Like, what the fuck is going on, bro?
Right. Like, it was stripped away.
Yeah, I thought they were. Yeah, that's what they complain about all the time. But now now their culture wasn't stripped away. Now they knew how their dances were, how their languages were, and what part of Africa they were from. Man, stop it, bro. Y'all are some clown shoe shit, bro.
They clowning, bro.
They clowning. They capping, bro.
Straight joke.
That's all you guys talk about, bro. About how y'all were taking your culture, your language, who you were as a people were taken away from you. But now all of a sudden, y'all over here telling everybody, teaching everybody culture. Stop it, man. I'm telling you, bro. That's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? And all this African culture, and this is why they're butthurt, Emac, is when I showed them about the KRS-One, when he brought up that scholar from the 1920s, right? When he talks about the scholar in the 1920s, show them how they had to teach them, had to teach them their African history. Because what were Negroes trying to be in the 40s, 30s, 50s, 60s? They were trying to be like white people. They were trying to be like white gangsters.
Right.
In the 70s, they were trying to be Asians. Talk about they fucking karate masters like Bruce Lee started trying to be on the Bruce Lee and shit, bro.
Right.
When did they started getting back into their African culture, people? In the 80s, late 70s, early 80s is when this so-called black power, black culture started really coming in. Why? Because the Hispanics had to teach them that stuff. And that's what they didn't like about my last video. And this is why King Seth is saying the things that he's saying.
Go to culture, that's our culture. Black people, we watching our culture be folded right and unfolded right in front of us. And we don't even see it. I don't even want to go to metallurgy. That's the Benin's with the head, with the metal heads. Let's go to let's do this one with the medicine. Now, I don't even want to do the medicine. Let's go. Let's keep going because let's do the food. I like this one. Gastronomy, the art of science of good eating. Gastronomy, when the Africans arrived on the continent, they brought with them fruits to which they were accustomed. Such in these cases is the watermelon, several species of bananas, and the African rice that arrived at the Americas in the slave ships.
Yo, this is the dumb shit we are talking about, people, right here. You heard him? He said the watermelon, the wild rice, he said everything was brought in the, what was it brought in? Was it brought on a trade ship, Emac? Yo, Emac. Now, again, people, I want to read what he's reading, okay? He says, when the Africans arrived on the continent, they brought with them, how did they bring with them? They were slaves, people. So who was actually bringing it? This is, if you actually read it here, if you actually read here, people, there is no source, first of all. King Seth probably wrote this shit down himself to stroke his ego. It says, look, when the Africans arrived on the continent, they brought with them the fruits to which they were accustomed. Bro, how did they bring it, bro? They were fucking slaves. such in this case as pine or watermelon, several spices of bananas, and of the African rice that arrived at the Americas on the slave ships. It doesn't say trade ships. He actually thinks that they had control over this, people. Bro, I can't, bro. I can't. Emac, this is ridiculous.
I know, bro.
This is ridiculous. It tells you how it got here, people. The slave ships. So again, these guys think that when they got off these slave ships, they was walking around like, yo, we got them hot watermelons, son. We got them spices, son. We got that banana. Man, shut up, man. That's crazy.
That's how much influence that the Spanish had. They even took shit from Africa and brought it here. The Africans didn't bring it. They were on this boat as a slave. Even their music, like they said, they created bluegrass and all that. Like y'all didn't get off the boat playing bluegrass. Pretty sure y'all motherfuckers weren't doing that shit. Y'all had the banjo, yeah, but that nigga changed it. He made it better and he put his own twist to it and created bluegrass. Y'all didn't create bluegrass. It has African influence, yeah, because of the banjo. But once he took that banjo and changed it up and put his own British ISO on bluegrass, that don't no longer belongs to Africans because that type of music and blend is not African. Do y'all know what's like the British ISO is? Like they had their own music, bro. Like the music was influenced during the classical era. And I show that I'm gonna show that in my debate right now. Yeah, that classical era, bro, like that's where all the music and shit came from. You know what I'm saying? During the 4th and 6th century AD.
We brought rice over here. So every time you go to a Mexican restaurant or a Spanish restaurant and you eat that rice that arrived at the Americas in the slave ships, we brought rice over here. So every time you go to a Mexican species of bananas and the African rice that arrived at the Americas in the slave ships, we brought rice over here.
Hey, King Seth, where did you sneak that rice, son? You were sneaking it through that butt crack, son? Where were you sneaking that rice from, son? Stop it, King. That is some clown shoe stuff.
So every time you go to a Mexican restaurant or a Spanish restaurant and you eat that rice, you eating jollof, and I'm finna show it to you. The gastronomy customs of the slave impacted the food culture of the Americas in a way, either the ingredients and the specific preparations that were adopted or transformed. Boy, every time your grandmama cook that food that you be eating that you think so good, you better thank us. For example, the dish.
You know, the disrespect. You heard what he said? You heard what he told us Puerto Ricans, people? He said the Spanish food that we eat basically are rice and beans, right? He said that we need to thank them. Is that not what he just told us, Emac?
Hell yeah.
Now, let me ask you this. The black community, right? Emac, when have you ever heard black people say, yo, Big Mama, them rice and beans is off the hook?
Never.
The hell is they talking about? You know what I know? That I've seen plenty of African Americans be like, bro, those rice and beans that y'all Puerto Ricans and Dominicans and Mexicans be cooking, bro, you're off the chain. Matter of fact, a lot of African Americans love tacos, man. Do y'all not?
The Cali niggas love tacos.
Oh, they better stop, bro. They better stop, bro. This is crazy.
Right. But you know what's funny? The Caribbean food, like let's say from Jamaica, what other parts? Trinidad, their rice and beans don't even taste like Puerto Rican rice and beans. It's a whole totally different thing. So like to say that black people created our shit is totally wrong, dog.
They wish that the black woman can cook the rice and beans and like the Puerto Rican Mexican woman can. That's what it is.
Never, never.
What's good, Efro?
Dímelo. What's going on, mi gente?
What up, my niggas?
Yo, y'all talking about this, and what is crazy about it is the other day, right? We went to food shop, and it was a African American sister, right? She was standing there in the middle, between my wife and my daughter. She didn't know that we Puerto Ricans or whatnot, and she was telling her husband, right? This big fat African American girl, with a wig and everything. She was telling her husband, "Oh look, man, I'm tired of eating this shit that we eating. I'm gonna start buying rice and beans, man, like those Puerto Ricans. Guess what? I'm Puerto Rican now. I'm gonna start saying that to everybody until they get it." I was like, "What the fuck?" My girl came and she was like, "Yo,
Wow.
they're trying to be y'all now. They say they're gonna try to be us now. That's crazy."
Wow.
Yeah, they do that. We be catching them doing that once in a while. She said, "Now I'm gonna tell everybody that I'm Puerto Rican. I'm gonna start
Wow.
buying these food."
Bro, motherfuckers want to be like us, bro. Fuck.
Mhm. And what is beautiful about our culture, man? Like, look it up, man. Google the best people on the planet Earth, man. Puerto Ricans, man.
They hate us because they ain't us.
That's right. It'd be confusing, man.
That combine rice, meats, vegetables, and grains. Nigga, that came from us. Were supplied by slaves who worked as the service in parts of the United States, Ecuador, Brazil, Colombia, Ecuador, Peru, and Venezuela. Many dishes are still maintained even though they were undergone modification. Show me Visigoth food. Show me Vandal food. Some culinary techniques that can be found in America thanks to the arrival of the Africans. Roasted wood, boiled spices, sauces, stews, where fats predominantly were used to coconut to make sweets, as well as leaves of bananas to wrap recipes like the haluscas in Venezuela or the tamales. Nigga, so when y'all go get them tamales from the Spanish people, that's our food, y'all. That's our food. West African food around the world. Grains, I'm gonna start right here. Grains such as African rice, pearl, millet, sorghum, nelf, and fennel were first domesticated on the continent. So too were the legumes. Cowpea, groundnut, vegetables, okra, watermelon, and Ethiopian kale. Many tree crops of the cola nut used in Coca-Cola, oil palm, shea, and coffee are indigenous to Africa. If you had coffee or Coke today, you have Africa to thank for it. What you think? How could you have some coffee? Even the way you talk, boy. The way you talk.
You had
You talking
Coca-Cola.
like us. The way you say it, it was influenced by us. You don't even speak the Spanish that them people speak over there. You speak a whole different Spanish. So does every Latino country over here because of the West Africans. And this right here, I ain't finished with Puerto Rico. Mofongo, Puerto Rico. Another dish that uses mashed plantains also comes from what? Fufu. Mofongo is a mix of mashed green plantains with garlic and vegetables. Things like chicharron, chicken chunks, or shrimp folded, and before the food is shaped into a mound. So, man, your whole culture is West African. Black people. We watching these people. We let people like him tell us that that's Spanish culture. Now, that's our culture. That's our culture. And I'm a whole West Africa on my back. Quit culture vulturing. You vandal. You a vandal. Now watch this. Mexican food is truly multicultural. cuisine, did you know that the black beans and rice, a traditional component, many Mexican dishes came from Africa?
That was
According
super
to
pseudo. He said fufu, like fufu's like dough, like from West Africa, like, and he's trying to say like our mofongo is fufu. Like, that don't even make sense. Is it mofongo like and from like smushed like fucking bananas or plantains and shit?
Actually, mofongo is not even smushed bananas. He got it all wrong. Mofongo, mofongo is cut bananas. It's like almost like a supper, like a soup, and it got chunks of meat and everything in there. What an idiot!
Right, but meat that's in the mofongo, does it come from Africans or does it come from the Europeans bringing the livestock into the Caribbeans? And I brought that out.
Yeah.
But the thing is,
There's a mix
you see how he's disrespecting you again, bro. He's getting personal. He's just throwing personal jabs, bro. That's what I'm saying, bro.
Yeah,
Let's
it's
just
personal right now.
Yeah. Like I said, I can't wait for your second round, bro. It's coming up soon, though.
the news with the article technique of deep frying came from Africa as well. So even the way your grandmama prepare her food, boy, it came from Africa. It came from us. Many Mexican dishes are made with ingredients that were brought from Africa to Mexico. These include rice. So how you got a Spanish rice if
Yo, how is he even making sense, bro? Like all the foods that he is talking about, African Americans don't shine in those areas. Like I don't get what he's trying to say.
It actually came from the Caribbeans and then the West Africans took it from the Caribbean.
You know what's sad about all this, brother? That food actually comes from Middle Eastern people. The way they cook their rice and everything, we always kept that, bro. A
Yeah,
lot of the food is Middle Eastern. Like if you see the Arabs cooking rice, brother, yellow rice, you would think it's a Puerto Rican unless he shows his face in the camera.
and even if he does, he still looks Puerto Rican because Arabians look a lot of Puerto Rican.
Yeah, no. You know who brought that up? My grandpa. He used to say, "Yo, I think." I'm not gonna lie. He said in a joke a couple of times in the living room that our food must be Middle Eastern because we cook the same damn thing. Not knowing today that we found out that we was Israelites. That's to me like mind blowing.
Damn.
But we are Middle Eastern. Even you gotta understand. Even the Edomites, the so-called white man, they cook rice. Believe it or not, they cook rice, brother. It's just that they don't put a lot of flavor into this shit, but a lot of them do. A lot of them do. Don't get confused. And even they are Middle Eastern. Like, Africans. He forgot the part where they say they catch the desert rats and Africa and they cook it. They I mean that's the part that he's forgetting in that one, bro. But yeah, half of these foods, bro, they come from Middle Eastern. Like look it up.
No, you're true. Even when the Edomites got their name, Jacob was cooking lentil soup. Lentils is like a form of beans and shit, like gandulas and shit.
Lentil comes from pinto beans. Pinto,
Right. So yeah,
la habichuela pinta.
so
It's the same thing. It's just
tell you that shit comes from the Middle East también.
yeah, sí, porque mira, las habichuelas esas, tú le dices vinto. Ellos le dicen vinto, pero nosotros le decimos pinto.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yo, you got man knowledge, bro.
Yeah, but that's not African, man. That's sad. I mean, in a way, I would have praised him a little bit because he is trying to, push his African ego, but he's doing it in an embarrassing way.
Right.
But I would have been. I mean, I'm happy that you guys are trying to go back to the Africa stuff because, at the end of the day, that they is trying to find their identity. But damn, don't culture vulture, man. That's sad. You know.
Where you at, Jose?
You got no rice. You eating jollof. The picture at the top, y'all, is the Mexican Spanish rice. The picture at the bottom is jollof, where they got it from. Now watch this. Mexico was known. Hold on. Many people do not know about the African influence in Mexico. A university of California Press article reminds us that the second president of Mexican Republic, Vicente Guerrero, was a mixed African descent and even had the name state after him. Hold on, man. I want to get to this because he went to music. I want to see. We had alcohol too. Right here with Sister Ivory, we got right here our Uncle Jack. He the one that invented Jack Daniels. We came over here with recipes that influenced the liquor. I want to go to this music because let's go. You know what I'm saying? I want to go to this other stuff since he's talking about. Oh, no, hold on.
Well, he getting overwhelmed right now.
Musical influences, not only as African music, traces from West.
You see, because he only got 1 minute left, so he's trying to like throw so much at one time.
But
importantly, West African culture characteristics have helped connect several different styles from West Africa. I want to get to this one. One of the most prominent of these shared characteristics is the ABA-BCC lyric pattern that originated in the work songs of enslaved Africans. Initially, this lyric pattern helped to coordinate to synchronize the movement of enslaved women. This lyric pattern persists through the past emancipation moment of emerging blues musical style adopted it. This same lyrical structure is often found in hooks of many jazz, rhythm, blues, and hip hop. So if you making songs out there, Emac, you got to thank us. African origin of the banjo. The banjo origins of the African in the game in 1620 came from West Africans using similar string instruments to make music on the Gambia River. As enslaved Africans were brought from the United States through the transatlantic slave trade, they brought African instruments like the djembe and the banjo, early forms of the banjo. So nigga, man, we brought the whole banjo over here. We started whole music.
They didn't even bring it over here.
Damn, you know what's sad about that too? That the banjo was introduced to them through the Arabs when they conquered their ass.
Right.
So all they had was leftovers for whatever fell out of the master's hand. Or the master's table, however you want to say, because when the Arabs took power over them, yeah, the masters, right, at that time, I learned that in school. Those tools and those instruments was given to them so they can mourn for their own people. From the Arabs, bro. They didn't even have that.
Wow.
Because you gotta understand the banjos come from Arabia, bro. But that's not even there.
Wow.
The motherfuckers only know how to smash coconuts in their own heads and shit. That's not theirs, bro. I learned that in school. I'm sorry, but it's true.
But the sad thing is that you say you learned that in school. So so how is the white man trying to strip them from anything when the white man is actually telling you the truth about the history? They just nigga rigging that shit, twisting it. Like, oh, we did that, you know?
Bro, you know those what are called, the knockout people. You know how they are, bro. That's why they'll be bugged out. And shit.
Right,
bro, yo, Eva, you gotta that group that you just got a part of. There's this group called they call themselves Nagas, right? Yeah, Nagas, right? Bro, they really on some cult shit, bro. Where they believe that this guy named Reuben is like their king, and it was crazy, man.
Yo, you gotta have them on the show one day, bro.
That's crazy. Yeah, I do, man. I do have to invite him.
Well, you gotta. I gotta be with you, bro, because I want to expose that shit.
I already eat.
From what I heard from Timotheus, he said that you can tell that you're a Naga basically just by the spirit. You know what I'm saying? It has nothing to do with blood type. Like this dude Ruben have been convincing these members, like Anu and Timothy and shit like that, that like they're like related, kind of like related blood wise or some shit from some like ancient culture. I don't know, bro. It's some like yo on some real cult shit, bro.
Yeah, the Naga supposed to be like the serpent of the Hindu god Naga. That's where to get it from.
Yeah, but them dudes is bugged out with that shit, though.
Oh yeah, that's pseudo judo.
Yeah, look, bluegrass. Man, damn. I need some more time. I ain't saying
Okay.
Oh, I get some more time.
Look at that. Look
No
how
king chat.
see his shit. It says particularly West African influence on bluegrass is perhaps more surprising, but is just as essential as the European influence.
Yeah, but he's not gonna read that. He's gonna read whatever he feels like is convenient.
Right. I was about to say like bluegrass had a little bit of West African influence, but bro, most of it is European, bro. Comes from the British Isle. It's a blend with it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And Puerto Rico, Emac, in Puerto Rico, they never taught you how when Africans came, they really didn't even have a strong language. They only had that clicking language. That every word at the end had to have a click.
Yep.
Like crickets.
Yep.
So how the hell they even made a song out of that?
Nah, they didn't. All the songs that it comes from the Europeans.
Hey man, y'all better stop it, man. They was kings, all right? They was kings.
They were tongs.
Nah, man.
They were kings.
That's not what they taught me in school.
Right. They click like those Africans in the with the little things, the things over their penis and their butts that they just put like, and they just sit there all day talking like.
Yeah, they had a strong language of that. Believe it or not, look it up, brother.
Like, how the fuck click language develop fucking bluegrass? How did it get came from that? That don't make no sense.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And according to the school, they was too violent, brother.
Hey yo, Ephraim, you speak African so well.
They that's what they did, brother. It's easy. You can look it up. They teach that till today, I believe, over there, especially in Ciales. There was a lot of them there.
On this boy, man. Let's say, boy, ain't nothing yours. 2 hours. Boy, stop.
Okay.
Bro, that boy talks so much shit about Mexicans.
Okay,
too,
for your closing.
fucked up.
You said he talks shit about Mexicans? You said who?
Oh, hell yeah, he talks so much shit about Mexicans, bro, and the tamales and shit. Yeah, I gotta peep that.
Oh, for my clothes?
No. You want to wait till.
Okay, I'll wait.
Yeah, wait till you can do it.
Are we still waiting on the Emacs last round?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was waiting on her. I can't see his screen.
How about now?
Be careful, Yanni.
Hold on. Okay. I'm ready when you start.
Real quick, right? Like I said, this is the second round of EMAC. Now, as you brothers and sisters see, EMAC just pulled out a map and basically going to show you the influence basically the Spaniards had across the globe, right? Is that correct, EMAC?
Yes.
And your point is to show, I guess, in the red is to show all the influence that the Spaniards did, correct?
Yeah, the one on the left is the Catholics, and the one on the right is the Christians.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Like again, bro, again, people, this is the end of the debate right here. Right here is the end of the debate right here. EMAC is clearly showing you the Catholics and the Christians, right? Influence from the Spaniards and the people, whatever you want to say, Portuguese, whatever, but kicking their Catholicism and Christianity. Bro, this is a dagger right here.
I did play girls Roblox.
All right. All right, check this out right here now. Let's start this time. So let's get to the other part of my debate. So the Catholics and the Christians influence over the world through Spain conquest, Seth. So if you look at the map over here to the left, that's Catholicism through the whole world. Where is that West African influence? So if you look at the map over here to the left, that's Catholicism through the whole world. Where is that West African influence? So if you look at the map over here to the left, that's Catholicism through the whole world. Where is that West African influence? Then on the right, the other parts on the left of the map that you see that it's not filled in. Now look on the right, it's the Christians. The Christians put the other population through Catholicism. So if it wasn't for the Spanish Empire to actually spread Catholicism, Christianity, and Catholics, Constantine having his vision of Christ, all that would have not had happened without the Crusaders and all the Roman empires through the Spain. What are you talking about? Look at that influence on the map. Seth, that's ridiculous. That's the new world order, bro. We conquered it. That's Spain. What are you talking about? Look at that influence on the map. Seth, that's ridiculous. That's the new world order, bro. We conquered it. That happened. What are you talking about? Look at that influence on the map. Seth, that's ridiculous. That's the new world order, bro. We conquered it. That had nothing to do with West Africa. You had part of it because we took you and brought you into these places, bro. Ridiculous. That's the new world order, bro. We conquered it. That had nothing to do with West Africa. You had part of it because we took you and brought you into these places, bro. So that's the new world order, bro. We conquered it. That had nothing to do with West Africa. You had part of it because we took you and brought you into these places, bro. So now that's the new world order, bro. We conquered it. That had nothing to do with West Africa. You had part of it because we took you and brought you into these places, bro. So now the biblical accounts, if you look at the Bible, it talks about us. Isaiah 2:16. For all the ships of Tarshish and all of the pleasant imagery. In Ezekiel, Tarshish was your merchant by reason of the multitude of all kinds of riches with silver, iron, tin, lead. They traded for your wares. Book of Jonah went to where? To Tarshish when the Lord was looking for him. In the book of Kings, even the kings took the gold, and he said that Jehoshaphat made ships of Tarshish to go to Ophir for gold, but they didn't go. And for the ships were broken into Ezion's Geber. So right here, you see it, bro. That's another influence body bag. What are you talking about, Moors? The Bible predate Moors and all that bullshit.
Fire point, bro. That was a fire point.
Hurry up.
Everybody could just witness that what EMAC did to predate all of King Seth's Moorish claims, right, about the influence that they had in places between Carthage and Spain. What EMAC did was use the Bible and use the Bible's timeline in the books of like Ezekiel and things of that nature to show that there was already trade things going on in Spain before any damn Moorish influence in that time. which was a pretty brilliant point, Emac.
Thank you, bro. Crap you talking about. Now we talk about the economy impact of Spain. This is the other part of my debate now. So the Renaissance era, if you're not really hip to it, the Renaissance was a fervent period of the European culture, artistic, political, and economic rebirth following the Middle Ages from 15th to 16th AD. Now, the Renaissance is a French word meaning rebirth. This is how the European civilization was marked by a revival of the classical learnings and wisdom. And now it says that arguably one of the key events of the Renaissance in 1454, Johannes Gutenberg published the Gutenberg Bible using a new printing press technology that would revolutionize European literacy.
Now, like I told everybody, Emac right now is on fire right now. Right now, he is proving to everybody about how the Spaniards basically created the printing press. Meaning the reasons why we have our Bibles today, the reasons why we have libraries of books and things of that nature is because of that. What bigger influence than literature that we have today compared to what a West African did? Again, nice. This is a very powerful point.
So published the Gutenberg Bible using a new printing press technology that would revolutionize European literacy. So F your Moors and your little Timbuktu, we have the printing press. You ain't had that. That's how we influence the world. Your Moors and your little Timbuktu, we have the printing press. You ain't had that. That's how we influence the world. Moors and your little Timbuktu, we have the printing press. You ain't had that. That's how we influence the world. So now Da Vinci, who was an Italian, just like Christopher Columbus, was famous invention was his flying machine. Without the flying machine, you wouldn't even go to Africa on planes. So his best ideal displays in the power of his observation of his imagination. And his design of his innovation is clearly inspired by the flight of the winged animals. That's where he got his ideas from. Da Vinci got his shit from nature, from animals. And his notes be mentioned bats, kites, and birds as source of his inspiration. And these is all his inventions he made. He made the clock. Well, you wouldn't even know modern time without Da Vinci. Stop it, bro. Now, the age of discovery is the major reason why the age of exploration happened. If you don't know why Europeans explore the world, this is why. The age of exploration, also called the age of discovery, began in the 1400s and continued through the 1600s. It was the period of the time when the European nations began exploring. They discovered the new routes in India and much far east in the Americas. So you say your routes, you're talking about the Moors? Moors ain't even from West Africa. They're actually invaders, you goofy. They had nothing to do with West Africa. So the Europeans infrared
That's a body bag
with the African political.
Exactly, body bag. You have to basically remind them that they're not even West Africans.
Bingo.
That was a good one, man. I'm surprised. That's beautiful.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I didn't get King Seth's whole second round about his whole Moorish argument. Like that really confused me.
He came with that Thundercat sword.
Political affairs as they supported one chief over another in the hope of getting slaves. That's why we brought slaves, because a lot of you guys sold out. That's why you got Akan selling other tribal people. That's because the Europeans know what they were doing. That's why they wanted slaves. All right. The agriculture roots of slavery. So now we're going to see what happened. The transatlantic slave trade, when Spain first enslaved Native Americans in the Hispaniola and then replaced them with the captive Africans, it established slave labor as the basis of colonial sugar production. It was believed by Europeans that Africans had developed immunities to European diseases and would not be as susceptible to fall ill as if the Native Americans, because they had not been exposed to the pathogens yet. So the native was dying because of the European diseases, and the Africans were already susceptible to it, so they survived the pathogens. That's why they brought Negro slaves here to Americas, bro. All right, stop that. The only reason why you have any influence in America is because the Spanish Empire brought Africans over here. So, and they merged it with a lot of Spanish music, a lot of Spanish culture into it as well. So it just wasn't just West African, just influence all Spanish empires, bro, here in America.
Listen,
Stop
damn, he
that
might
nonsense,
broke
bro.
nose.
So now let's get into the rebuttal. That's a body bag right there, bro.
Damn, he tried to brush that off like nothing happened. Like, what the fuck? That was diesel as shit.
Bro, I ended all of the racism right there that the whites brought Africans over here. That like it wasn't even based off racism. You
Yeah,
see
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, you brought it in like with a clean slate.
Right. And then I also showed why the Indians. I also covered the Indians why they were dying and shit. You
Yeah,
see
yeah.
what I'm saying? And they had enslaved Indians, but since they were dying so fast, they had to substitute them. You see how I
Yeah.
covered everything
And
like in 1 minute?
you brought everything without disrespect.
We're no exactly, bro. But I'm tripping.
Yeah. He was trying to say directly, "Oh, the rights is ours. This is ours." You wasn't trying to say all that. He
Right.
was just bringing it in with a clean labor. Yeah.
Like a clean slate, and I'm giving them credit. I'm like, yeah, it got there's African influence, but it's because we brought y'all there. It was well, you would have no influence. That hurt his heart. And yeah,
Right.
this is the rebuttal round right here. I had to this is the second round, so I had to cut some of my second round and go into a rebuttal because I already had chess. I already had made these slides, especially because I already knew what he was going to bring out. So I prepared myself for this round, and everything he said I already knew. So I already had rebutted it quickly. Watch this round. Part of my round. So now let's rebuttal this man because he's talking about nonsense. The flamenco of Spain, bro, comes from Spanish gypsies. Spanish gypsies, bro. It doesn't come from the Moors. That guy that you posted, your doctor, very pseudo, bro. He needs to look up more information. So the Moors and in modern buildings, I'm pretty sure in Spain and in that area, they already had modern buildings, bro, built in by Europeans. So that was a lot of pseudo nonsense that were there, a lot of assumptions. Now, the Spanish that comes from the Moors, bro, Spanish comes from Latin. It has no Moorish influence on it. What are you talking about? That's like saying Ladino. Ladino Spanish is the Spanish of the Hebrews that the Sephardi Jews had. So now the Spanish that the Latin is speaking somehow is not Spanish. You sound nonsense, bro. The root is Spanish, bro. So now he says the Taino population of West Africa, we already been through that, already showed it here. They were dying off, and you Africans were susceptible to it. You were immune to our pathogens of the animals that we caught it from. So that's a body bag. Or then he's talking about the tamales. The tamales is made out of corn. Corn comes from America. What are you talking about? So you can thank the Mexicans about the tamales. The tamales is made out of corn. Corn comes from America. What are you talking about? So you can thank the Mexicans, Aborigines, for that tamales. Not is made out of corn. Corn comes from America. What are you talking about? So you can thank the Mexicans, Aborigines, for that tamales, not for Africa. Made out of corn. Corn comes from America. What are you talking about? So you can thank the Mexicans, Aborigines, for that tamales, not for Africans and your banana wraps. Come on, bro. You sound like goofy, bro. So let's go to his banjo, right? This dude talking about his banjo, right? So his banjo, yeah, he's half right and half wrong. But the idea came from West Africans. They did not bring the banjo here. The idea came from a gourd. It's actually a gourd that comes from the ground like a watermelon, and they put like strings, and they cut a hole in it. So the white man he took the banjo, which is not even a West African word, it's Greek. Banjo is Greek for Pandora, and it means the minstrel banjo. So he took it, he revamped it and changed it and made it better. He made it more superior. So that's why the banjo looks like that. It's round and it's circular, and it's not big and fat like the way you had it. That's what happened, bro. And it mixed in with the British Isle. The British Isle was mixed in with bluegrass and all those songs and all those musics. The Gambia, actually, it comes from the Akan. The banjos come from the Akanting, which was the older, bigger form of this modern banjo that the Europeans have created. Stop it, bro. Body bag. And the drums already had, native Indians already had drums. They already had maracas, pre-colonial. So the drums and the maracas, I'm pretty sure already was influenced Spanish people here in Americas. And then that's how you get a lot of the things going on in the Tainos. But body bag that right there, bro. So now he's going to say, who built Timbuktu? Let's get this down packed, baby. Now, who built Timbuktu and Mansa Musa's eyewitness account? We want to know what's the eyewitness account to your supposed love Mansa Musa king, this Mandi guy. So in the Tuareg language, which is not West African or actually a Niger-Congo language, the Tuareg language, the Tamashiq. So the Tamashiq was the actual language called in their tongue. And this is what it is. The word for place is tin or tim. And it's so Timbuktu derives from the name of the Tuaregs, who gave the place Tin as the place and Buktu meaning the place of Buktu, which was an older woman. So now look over here to the right. The Tuaregs beginning of the Timbuktu was founded about 1000 CE as a seasonal camp by the Tuaregs nomads. There were several stories concerning the variation of the city's names. According to one tradition, Timbuktu was named from an old woman left to oversee the camp while the Tuaregs roamed the Sahara. So they roamed the Sahara Desert while this woman was stood back and watched over the actual seasonal camp while there was nomadic and going around trading. Had nothing to do with black people. That's the totally opposite, actually. So this means that the name variously given to Timbuktu or Buktu meant the mother of the large navel, possibly describing an umbilical hernia of the such physical malady. The Timbuktu location at the meeting point of the desert and the water made to ideal trading center at the late 13th and the early 14th century. It was incorporated in the Mali Empire. So Timbuktu had nothing to do with Mali until the 13th and the 14th century. Then it was incorporated into the Mali Empire. What you talking about? The following description of the visit of Cairo by the king of Mali, Mansa Musa. It was written by Al-Umari, who visited Cairo several years after Mansa Musa's visit. So Mansa Musa's pilgrimage from Mali going to Mecca in Saudi Arabia, there's no witness account to it. It was written several years after. Nobody met Mansa Musa. The fuck are you talking about, son? What can you tell about Mansa Musa from Al-Umadi's account? It is from first person point of view. Did he actually, in his first point of view account, did he actually write about Mansa Musa? Did he meet him? Nobody met him. So there's no primary evidence to Mansa Musa and your Mali Empire from that point. Where's the primary? Nobody met him. And there's no primary evidence to Mansa Musa and your Mali Empire from that point. Where's the primary? Nobody met him. Nobody met him. So there's no primary evidence to Mansa Musa and your Mali Empire from that point. Where's the primary? Nobody met him. He met him. So there's no primary evidence to Mansa Musa and your Mali Empire from that point. Where's the primary? Nobody met him. Nobody met him. So there's no primary evidence to Mansa Musa and your Mali Empire from that point. Where's the primary? Nobody met him. And it's around 1000 CE, Timbuktu was founded by the Tuareg herdsmen and the nomads of the southern Sahara as an advantageous spot where the land and the rivers conceded. Right on top of the Niger River, so it had nothing to do with black people, bro. Those Moors that you're talking about were invaders. They invaded. That's why the Muslims went into Timbuktu and caused the trans-Saharan slave trade. Okay, if you're not familiar with it. So the curriculum of Timbuktu, we're calling this the Sunkor Masid. That's what you see the buildings, right? The building
Yo, look at that right there, Jose.
It's called the Sunkor. And
you see the picture on the left?
This whole water.
Yeah.
So the Sunkor Masid were those buildings that he said, oh, look at the university. Y'all copied from us, remember? He said that? Hey, be quiet. So the universities that he's claiming in Timbuktu was built by these pale Arabs on the left. And the books in the back are the books that they use for the curriculum. It had nothing to do with black people. It had nothing to do with West Africa. It had nothing to do with Mali. Remember, I said that Timbuktu was incorporated into the Mali Empire in the 13th and 14th century, way after. Body bag. Yeah, like Timbuktu is the name of the old woman that washed it. That's why the place is called Timbuktu. But the actual buildings is called the Sunkor Masid. He didn't even know that. I had to bring it out and edify the West Africans. A Puerto Rican had to show black people what it really called. He never showed it. All he said, oh, Timbuktu, these universities.
That's right. King Seth.
And at the prior entry of the university, students received 2 degrees. And the first degree required learning how to read and write in Arabic. So is Arabic West African? How is that influence all over the world? So you body bag yourself there, bro. Big time, bro. So your university students okay, so now look at this. Not everybody could be
time. Yeah.
I thought I had more time. I still got like a minute left on my time.
My time, my thing stopped, and I can't get it to stop. Okay, he was going. All right, King Seth.
Yeah,
This is
can you
your
hear me?
closing. It's your closing round. 5 minutes to
Alright.
close.
Can you hear me?
Or no, y'all want to do question and answer first, then close?
No, I want to close. Let me close real quick.
Okay, so then do the close, and then you can go to your question and answer.
Yo, I don't get it. I thought closing was basically like happens after questioning, question and answering.
Oh, mommy.
Because like closing is like
Usually.
it's like
Right.
kind of addressing like all both rounds and the questioning round also, right? Like you're just making a closing statement about all or what just happened, right?
Usually, like in Stolemine Debate League, we'll do the questioning before the closing. So
That's
you're
what
right.
yeah, so I'm saying because that's the purpose of the closing because you want to
Right.
include the questioning round. Like if you
Right.
pointed out
Right.
something, like if you pointed something out, something vital in your questioning round, like you could bring it up in your closing. Like as you see, the brother couldn't answer this question when I asked him blah 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 blah. And make it a
Right.
closing and debate stuff like that. So I guess like again,
Right.
that's another error that King Seth did, and I'm surprised that the panel allowed him to do that. It's like, nah, man, you're supposed to do questioning rounds and then closing.
Yeah. You see, this debate league is not. This is their first time, so they don't. They're not really like. They still learning about debating, so they don't really know. So that's why I come in and be like, oh, you can't post new information in your closing. So I got to relearn the judges in the panel what a real debate is, like the templates and what goes behind it.
Salakia, brother. I'm gonna be honest. At this point, at so far what I've seen, you just reminded all those African Americans who they really are, and they mad about it, brother. At the end of the day, they want you out of there quick as possible, cause you just you just destroy their whole freaking ideology. That's what it sounds like, really.
I mean, we have a Q&A though, but it's after though. But yeah, I know what you mean though.
Yeah, they all bald head. Like, look at how silent they are right there. Right there, just right there. Like, come on, brother. That right there. It hurts when you got an idea and everybody's cheering you in the back, and all of a sudden you find out that it's all a bullshit.
That's sad.
Yeah, you got them, and it's sad for them, but you got them with actual facts. That's what happens with Jose. When Jose brings something so strong with actual facts, timelines, and all, brother, some of these guys get emotional and instead of crying, they want to kick his ass. They can't reach him, so they start cursing at him and interrupting him and making lies and shit because they don't got nothing left. That was beautiful. That I'm seeing that. That's badass right there, man.
Hey, share my screen. Let me know when I'm good.
Go ahead.
All right, let's do some more musical influences since he want to come and talk about the musical influence. The song La Bamba, everybody know the song La 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 Bamba, La La you know that song right there. A traditional folk song and dance was originally a song sung by African slaves in Veracruz as they worked since the slaves brought to Mexico by the Spaniards came from Angola and Congo, with the Africans who originated the song hailing from the Mbamba people of the Angola. Bamba is named of the African tribe in Angola and in Congo. From the Bamba River, where the Mbamba people lived as enslaved, they brought their beautiful culture with them in original origins of this song over 500 years. So what you talking about, man, is just ludicrous. You talking about the printing press, man. Them people was 1% literate when the Moors went up there. What you mean the Moors was invaded? They was in Timbuktu. This is North Africa. I already established that. So wasn't it, man? Come on, man. Stop playing with me, bro. You straight pseudo, man. You trying to say Nelson Musa ain't real? Come on, man. You pseudo, bro. You need to stop, man. You need to stop it. Let's go. So we are why is a Latino singing La Bamba, a slave song, salsa? Salsa music is sometimes described as an African drum with the Spanish guitar, which is African. So the guitar that you're talking about is actually African in origin. And the guitar was brought into Spain by the Moors in North Africa, who conquered Spain in 70 AD. What you got to show me is some Visigoth architecture. I already showed you black architecture. You see what I'm saying? What you mean they was invaders? The tango. In some cases, however, however, transition from low to high culture buried to African origin and what that word influence. An example is Argentina, where the tango dance was developed by dual African ancestries. One source is undoubtedly the Spanish for tango, but the fandango is really Moorish. The other source is the black dance called Condobi, and the feature attraction of the Afro-Argentine festivals during the after the period of slavery. Latin American music has always been deeply what? That word again, influenced by the vibrant rhythms and melodies that blacks brought from their home to the American homeland. And then they say especially in Brazil. Let's go. This is Dia de los Muertos. Dia de los Muertos is really a celebration that comes from the African.
Oh, what happened to email? Yeah, but again, bro, everything he just said is about influence. He said influence in Latin America, bro. It doesn't say they created. It doesn't say anything about them creating those dances in the islands. It just says that
Yeah.
they had an influence, man. Just what I'm saying, man.
Yo,
Yeah.
I got kicked off. My bad. So what do you say when he's talking about La Bamba?
No, he was telling. He was just saying something. Well, I'll play it again real quick.
But yeah, bro. If you look at La
Latin American
Bamba,
music has
he said the Lambamba was a tribe of a West African Mendi tribe called they're called Bamba or the Bambara, and that's pseudo. The La Bamba is a Mexican dance, and the song is not even had nothing to do with slaves singing La Bamba song. That's pseudo. That was made up. La Bamba is actually a Mexican dance. It ain't had nothing to do with black folks. So he totally lied there. You know, like the devil, they lie, bro. They being very facetious. So you know what I'm saying? So if any black says that La Bamba is from black people, you better make sure that you tell them that it's not. It's from Mexican people. It's a Mexican dance. It is not a African tribe. So now the African tribe Bamba, the actual word means the tongue of the heathen, and it was in Arabic. You know what I'm saying? So the language is the word labamba is just it means the tongue of the Arabs that came. So the Mandinkas who spoke Arabic, they called the Bamba tribe the people who speak the heathen tongue. That's all it means. That's the history of the Bamba tribe in Africa, and you can look it up. I showed Jose, so Jose could confirm it if he wants to put it and show you guys. But that's what it means. Bamba African tribe means the tongue of the heathens, which were Arabs, an Arabic tongue. Nothing to do with Mexico and La Bamba and the music. There was no Spanish in West Africa when they were singing La Bamba, La Bamba. Fuck that shit. Never let that shit slide.
black dance called Condobi, and the feature attraction of the Afro-Argentine festivals during the after the period of slavery. Latin American music has always been deeply what? That word again, influenced by the vibrant rhythms and melodies that blacks brought from their home to the American homeland. And then they say especially in Brazil. Let's go. This is Dia de los Muertos. Dia de los Muertos is really a celebration that comes from from West Africa. That's in Mexico. This is influence, dude. What you talking about? You talking about the printing press? Y'all couldn't even read. You can't show me nothing over here. I done took food away from you. I done took your language away from you. Everything over here in Latin America, you need to thank us. You don't even speak the same language over there. What do you mean superior? They turned it and made it good. No, they didn't. They stole everything. I didn't even put rock and roll. I didn't even say nothing about North America. I didn't even say about rock and roll. I didn't even say about blues. I didn't say enough about none of that. I kept it straight Latin America. I even went to Puerto Rico and showed you how what you speak and you eat niggas came from West Africa. Even the rice. This is black culture that you simulating. That y'all trying to drown out. People like you. You the one on here telling a lie. Now let's get it. Santeria is based on the West African religions brought to the New World through the Middle Passages, mainly in the Caribbean and to the sugar plantations. These Africans carry with them their own sacred traditions, including a ritual of possession of trance, communicating through ancestors. We already know it's like Santeria incorporates the worship of the Orishas and beliefs of the Yoruba and the Bantu people of southern Nigeria. Man, let's keep going, man. I already killed you on that religion. What you talking about, man? Christians, man. You tripping, man. All y'all known for was conquering and killing people and slaughtering people. Let's stop playing, bro. And maybe y'all only thing y'all influenced was people to take more baths and use soap. Because y'all was stinking. Y'all get wrote in the history for being stinking, bro. You out of line. Voodoo. That's one that came from West Africa. That was understood on the concept of carnival. Watch this. As a distinct minority, the beginnings of the African people in the Americas brought a culture change in their lives. Official accepted modified same forms of culture in black. Let's get down here. It's until the 19th century, the annual celebration of Carnival was confined to black population. The upper class condemned Carnival and tried to end it as a public festival. By the year 20th century, however, it had attracted all classes and races. So the Carnival that's in Brazil that they have every year that everybody flock to is based in with is a black thing. We created that. Although Carnival has become highly regarded and its festivities are open to all races, classes, the chief participants of these carnivals are still black. The same remains of the true of other folk festivals such as the Jungle and in Jamaica. Now you gotta show me anything.
King said.
That's a bit.
Yeah. We can't debate.
All right, let me see. You can see that?
Yes, it's up there.
All right, we just 5 minutes round?
Yes.
Let's start my clock. All right. Now check this out. I want the people and the judges to look how my closing round is on point and is organized. He presented new evidence in his closing round, so you guys should knock off points based off how his template of his debate and his the way his debating skills are. That's unacceptable. So in my closing, I showed everybody what I was going to present, and what we presented in the debate is exactly what I showed for verbatim, and we showed how the Spanish Empire, from religion and all those things, from economics, history, culture, technology, religion, and the spread of the New Age order, which is the New World Order or the world order that we live in today. So these are the points that I have made, and I'm pretty sure that the points that I've made, I touched on very, very clearly. Now, you cannot, again, my debater, he cannot show how the West Africans actually influenced the whole world on themselves, by themselves, not to help with the Moorish Empire, not help with the Arabs and the Arabics that they spoke, no help with Spain and the other European nations came. You did not do any of that on yourself. Everything that you guys had in West Africa stayed in West Africa because you did not need to leave out of West Africa because everything that you had was there. Okay. We were the explorers. We could see that our culture, you even had to put Santeria and hide it behind Catholicism just so you could follow your Orisha, but somehow you did not have your religion and they strip you from everything. That's fine. How if you're proven, right, if King Seth judges, if King Seth is trying to prove that the West African influenced the whole world, then he's actually falling on his own sword, because the influence that they had was brought over here from the Spain. So regardless, you shot your own self in the foot. If it wasn't for the Spain, how would you even brought any of those things that you supposedly claim? And then on top of that, you're saying that, we ate all those things that we had. Well, when did you package it and put it across the whole world? Because I'm pretty sure rice was in Asia. It wasn't not indigenous to West Africa. And I'm pretty sure the banjo was also, was indigenous. They also has it in China as well. Then he said all the Moors gave us all that. We showed you how in the religion and the periods, how the Roman Greco period of the classical antiquity era actually debunks that. That's why the whole world is actually using Greek and Spain and Spanish. Like they're using Latin script. Latin script is a Romance language. It does not come from the Niger Congo language. The Niger Congo language actually comes from Black folks. This language is not a written script. Now, the Moors and the Timbuktu people who actually created those universities were influenced from Arabs. That's an Arab conscious. If you're in Moors, you're in a Arab conscious mind of thinking, because that comes from Arabia to North Africa. Now, the Tuaregs that speak the Tamashiq that I showed in my rebuttal round actually comes from the Afro-Asiatic language. It's not a Niger-Congo language, which is West African. So the North African branch actually went down and influenced the Mali Empire, the richest man. So the gold, I'm pretty sure.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, that was another powerful point. What Emac just did right there, people, was remind the people about the Moorish language. He said that the Moorish language is actually like an Asiatic language, which we would call a Shemitic language. It's not a West we say like a West Bantu language. You said?
Yeah. The Bantu comes from the Niger Congo branch. So yes, it's not a Bantu language.
That's what I'm saying. So that's even more of a body bag right there, people. He's proving right there, people, that your whole Moorish stash is garbage, bro. Even the language that the Moorish people speak is a basically a Shemitic or a Middle Eastern, or we would call a Middle East language. And right there was a body bag, bro.
Facts. And look at what I said about Genghis Khan.
Genghis Khan was more richer than Masa Musa by trillions, not by billions, brother. So stop the nonsense. And all through my debate, I showed you how the Spain pushed everything through routes and trades. They created new routes and trade during the discovery period because it was destroyed by the Ottoman Empire. He's not going to tell you that. The Ottoman Empire destroyed your Mali trades and your Songhai trades. So the Roman Catholics had to create new trades across the world. And that was part of the transatlantic slave trade routes. It was a trade route. It weren't just bringing Negro slaves. I show that. So I'm pretty sure that my time is up. 5 minutes is up. He did not have a proper closing. That is unacceptable for a debater to bring new information for a closing. But I want to close out with that, and I'm out.
Flawless, B. Flawless.
That was body bags. Straight up. That was a good closing. You see how Emac broke it down? You know, that's what I'm saying, bro. It was done way professional. His opening was more professional. His closing was professional. He was more professional during his rounds. You see King Seth get emotional a few times during his rounds, trying to throw personal jabs at the competitor. Yeah, man.
Yeah, you throwing ad hominems at me, bro.
Yeah. That is crazy. All right, you want me to play the question around or?
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's around. Questions that the other person do 3 questions, or 2 minutes to answer.
Nothing.
Okay.
Can you show me any architecture in Latin America that wasn't influenced by the Moors? And can you show me the architecture in Spain that's still used today if they influence anything on this side of the culture? Since you said that they was influencing something, those Spanish people should have left their mark over here. We already established that, these people don't even speak the same language. They speak pidgin languages. You see what I'm
All
saying?
right, let me answer your question.
Hold on, bro. My nigga, what you mean, man? I'm still asking my question. So I need you to show me any Latin America, any architecture influence that wasn't influenced by the Moor.
All right. Now, when you look at the mausoleums and when you look at the Colosseums and all those things that you find in pre-Moorish Empire, though I'm pretty sure that comes from the Latin people, bro, and I'm pretty sure that predates that. So is there any more questions that?
Yeah, I got another one. Who are the Latin people?
In my debate, I'm pretty sure I showed it that it's an Italic tribe.
A who?
Italic tribe.
What's an Italic tribe?
Italic tribes are tribal people that comes from Italy. Italic means Italy.
So so these people were in Spain? They went to Spain?
Yes, we showed that they went to Spain in the 300 to 200 century BCE.
So these weren't Romans?
These were Romans, yes.
So they was the Visigoths and the Vandals, because that's who the Moors took it from, right? So you talking about the Visigoths and the Vandals, correct?
The Vandals are the Visigoths who are vandalizing the Roman. That's why they was ransacked. I showed it in my debate.
Okay. So you saying that this came before the Moors kicked them out of Spain, correct?
We were not fully kicked out of Spain. They were already showed that in the 9th century, the kingdom of Castiles and the kingdom of Leon was still there.
Bro, how is that possible? How is that possible?
Hold on.
Wait. You gotta let them answer.
The Spain Empire is an amalgamation of 4 different empires. It's called the Navarre, the Castile, the Aragon, and also the last one I can't remember. But of those 4.
So the Moors has the most influence because of the architecture, because of the knowledge, and because of the language in it. Am I correct? Because we was there for 800 years, right?
They didn't conquer all of Europe or all of Spain.
Nobody said all of Europe. I said Spain. Is it true that they didn't?
Okay, is this your third question?
No, go ahead. Let it
I'm done. That's my third question. I'm done.
I'm asking. Go ahead, because y'all going back and forth.
King Seth, what I'm saying is that the empire that you're talking about, Spain, they were already there, bro. Before that, and the Moors that came in did not actually rule all Spain. I'm pretty sure that there were kingdoms in Spain that the Moors did not touch.
I don't need you to be pretty sure. I need you to pull up facts, bro.
Those 2 minutes. Let me get 2 minutes.
I need you to pull up facts. I don't need you to be pretty sure.
Let me get 2 minutes.
Pull up facts.
Yeah, you can't interrupt them, King Seth. Let them answer.
So the influence that you're talking about are the influence in their city that they conquered. That's the influence you're talking about. All right, now this is the question I got for you, King Seth. All right, this is gonna hurt you pretty bad. Before Islam, show me any West African using gold for currency. Now go.
King Seth, you're muted.
Let me share my screen, please.
No, watch these live.
Why you didn't share your screen, bro? We're not doing new information, bro.
You want me to answer the question? It was in my debate.
Nah, bro. Answer the question if you can. I'll go on to the next question.
All right, I can tell Leo Africanus in 1526 showed that Timbuktu they was using gold ingots and you breaking off pieces of salt to use as currency.
That's not my question. I said pre-Islam, show me West Africa having gold for trading or currency.
Bro, I read, and then I also read the Herodotus. Herodotus said that they was using gold to trade for goods from the Carthaginians.
Carthaginians aren't even Moors.
Bro, it don't matter, bro. They was using gold for currency. And you said before that period. So I just gave you a period. I read it. I was finished showing it to you, but you just said no.
Where is Carthagena
Herodotus' words.
Where is Carthagena located?
Bro, come on.
Where is
Morocco,
Carthagena
bro,
located?
come on,
That's the question.
My answer-
Is it in West Africa? Is Carthage in West Africa? Yes or no?
Can you repeat the question?
Is Carthage in West Africa? Yes or no?
No, it's not.
All right, so that is irrelevant to the debate.
No,
Body
it's not,
bag.
bro. Repeat the question.
Is Carthage in West Africa? Yes or no?
No, it's not.
All right, so that is irrelevant to the debate.
No,
Body
it's not,
bag.
bro. Can you repeat the question?
Is Carthage in West Africa? Yes or no?
No, it's not.
All right, so that is irrelevant to the debate.
No,
Body
it's not,
bag.
bro. Can you repeat the question?
Is Carthage in West Africa? Yes or no?
No, it's not.
All right, so that is irrelevant to the debate.
No,
Body
it's not,
bag.
bro. Repeat the question. Repeat the question, bro. And I'm gonna show you how stupid you are. Repeat the question.
Go ahead. Your question. You can ask me the question.
Repeat
bro.
the question, bro.
You already answered it. Everybody, the judges heard
I know
it.
I answered it. You said, when did the West Africans use currency before what period?
Before Islam.
Okay, and I said when they was trading gold with the Carthaginians that Herodotus was writing about. Primary source. Herodotus.
See, he lied. He lied
Oh,
right there. You hear that, Jose? He said that the Herodotus wrote that the Carthaginians was trading gold with synagogue. He lied. It said, remember when we read it, it said that the Libyans, there was a place in Libya beyond the Pillars of Hercules that he traded with, which was the islands of the Mediterranean Sea, Cyprus. Lies, lies, lies. And then he turned around and said it was Yoruba.
body bag yourself.
Bro, stop it, bro.
Man, mute, man.
Carthages is not in West Africa. Now, ask me the question, bro.
Nigga, that's the point, doofus. They using gold to come to the West Coast for currency, you man.
Get your next question.
I don't got no more questions, bro. I mean, shit. Oh, it's my turn.
You heard his judge say, on his side? You heard that?
You asked it.
Your last question. You said
that was Dario.
Okay.
Like,
So name me which part of.
Yeah, I heard it. That was a judge, you said, right?
Yep, that Judge Derek, that's his boy. They from the same team Heretic.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Of West Africa did the Carthage trade gold with in West Africa? Go.
On the Senegal River to the Yoruba people. I got it right there. It was in the slide. Again, Herodotus said it. I had it in the slide. Herodotus said it. I got it in the slide, bro. On the basin of the Senegal River. I got it, bro.
Come on now. Give me some historical facts. You didn't show any. So that's a body bag. There ain't no
Can I
gold
show my slide? Can I show my slide?
Until the colonization.
I got it. I got it. For the answer for both questions.
No. Let's go to the judges.
I'm with that.
I believe everybody has asked their questions. Yeah.
No, I believe that was the end of the debate, right? Now they're about to go to the judges.
Yeah, after the Q&A, is now the judge. Now shit gets funny right now.
Yeah, I don't even want to watch that shit. Like I said, bro, like the people here, they saw it for what they see it. Anybody who watches it, they can see for themselves what took place. like I said, bro, your shit was a lot more professional. Your shit was on point. Your rebuttals were on point. It was an easy win for you, bro. Like on a real, bro. Like, and again, I'm not biased because I really don't give a damn about Spaniard or West African influence. I can care less. I'm just going by what I saw, and like I said, I saw it yesterday. Um, After I did my live that same night or the next morning, I saw the whole debate, and I was sickened. I was sickened about the judgment, but I understood it. You know what I'm saying? Because it is a biased platform, man. But Emac did a excellent job in the debate. That was pretty good. You got any last words for King Seth or anybody else who
Yeah,
want
my
that?
boy,
Or
you
anybody
can't
else who want
fuck
that
with me, my
smoke?
boy.
Yeah.
King Seth, man. Assumptions. If you're listening, assumptions. Stop making assumptions. You didn't influence the whole world. If you did, then we will all be wearing dashikis and shit, like my nigga Jose said. We'll be all worshiping the Orisha gods. We'll all be doing West African shit, but we're not. So, boom, booyah.
All right. That's what I'm talking about. Like I said, bro, it was a good one, man. It was a good one.
Yeah. Good looks, my nigga, bro. Have a good night, man, and y'all be safe, man. Till next time.
All right, man.
All right, bro.
All right, man. Shalom.
Shalom, bro.
All right, man. There you have it, people. You saw it for yourselves. It was a pretty interesting debate. Like I said, you might do this thing. Uh, like I said, man, those guys are clowns over there, anyways, man. Like I said, man, I got a few videos coming out about that group chat, man. There's some interesting characters. Like you got some real interesting characters in these going back chats. But yeah, I got probably gonna do a video. The next video I'm probably gonna do is on Northern Kingdom prophets and Daniel Yepes. You know, about natives hating on other natives. You know what I'm saying? So I want to probably talk about that a little bit about that, and then gonna drop another video later on this week, probably about a discussion I had with Tommy, and I'm gonna show you people my mind state because this is a perfect discussion of how I basically play chess with individuals when I have a discussion with them, and you're gonna see throughout this discussion with this guy Tommy how I play chess to the point where I go from one question that I knew what it would turn into. You know what I'm saying? And completely exposed his whole premise that he was trying to build that day. To the point where you see, I'm telling you, man, the sisters in those group chats love me, man. They love me, man. You're gonna hear the sister Avery in the back chat. Good question. Good question. Oh, it's a good point. Good. Damn, Jose's on fire. Jose's on fire. Like it's gonna get to the point where it's like, you know what I'm saying? But that's gonna be another good discussion. But until then, shalom, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Love you all. Have a good night.